A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Kroger Tender Ray Beef, no other beef so fresh can be so tender, presents Hearts in Harmony, transcribed. Although we'd like to tell you that there's a plentiful supply of fresh and tender Kroger Tender Ray beef, we're sorry, but we can't. But say, there is an abundance of another exclusive Kroger feature that also will give you the top-notch dinners you want. That's Kroger Selected Seafoods. Every morsel is firm-fleshed, tender, delicious, just the kind of fish your family will love. There's fish for baking, for frying, for broiling, and fish for chowder. It's the finest selection and the very best flavored seafood and fish in town. That's because Kroger Seafoods are rushed to your Kroger store with all of that wonderful fresh-caught flavor. Rushed to you through Kroger's own special rush delivery system. And after delivery is made, these wonderfully flavored seafoods are protected until the moment you buy through precision refrigeration. But stop in at your neighborhood Kroger store and see that fine variety of seafoods for yourself. And when you do, just keep in mind that your satisfaction is guaranteed. Yes, Kroger Selected Seafoods are guaranteed to satisfy and priced for real thrift. Plan right now to make that visit soon to your Kroger store, the only place where you can buy Kroger Selected Seafoods. And now, Hearts in Harmony. No one but Freddie Lang knows that Penny Gibbs is being held prisoner by Bill Carver and Jerry Manson. But Freddie won't tell what he knows. Professor Rogers, however, has gone to the police. And next morning, while the police are searching everywhere for her, in a small house near the riverfront, Bill Carver says to Penny,
"Why don't you sit down in that easy chair and be comfortable, Angel Face? You ain't going nowhere."
Mr. Carver, Jerry Manson kept watch over me all last night. Now, am I going to have to put up with the same annoyance from you all day?
No, I ain't such bad company, am I?
Let's not go into that.
Oh, no. Don't be afraid you'll hurt my feelings, Miss Gibbs. I don't hurt easy.
No, I don't imagine you do.
No, but Jerry tells me you hurt awful easy.
Oh?
Yeah, I hear you tried to walk out of this door last night, and all it took to stop you was a slap in the face.
Mr. Carver, that isn't what stopped me.
No? Well, that's the way I heard it.
I stayed because I didn't want you or Jerry to get into more trouble than you're in already.
Well, now, ain't that nice? But why don't you do more worrying about yourself and less worrying about me and Jerry? You're the one in a jam, not us.
Now, look. I promised Jerry I wouldn't go to the police if she let me go, but that was last night. Now, you've kept me here all night, and it's almost noon now. I'm certainly going to the police about this.
Maybe we ain't civilized, sweetheart.
Oh, I think you're civilized, all right. But maybe a little childish.
Oh, you think this is kid stuff, do you, Miss Gibbs? Well, now, maybe I can straighten you out about a few things.
Good, it's about time.
Oh, no, I ain't setting you right about what me and Jerry are going to do with you, if that's what you're hoping. It ain't time for that. But you think this is kid stuff, and maybe I better get it straight with you that I ain't no kid.
You're, sure you aren't?
Look, Angel Puss, maybe you'd like to know who I am.
You're Bill Carver. I think that's knowing enough.
Well, let me tell you a little story, Miss Gibbs. You know Freddie Lang, don't you?
Yes, I know Freddie Lang.
Yeah, sure. Well, I know the kid, too. He used to work for me down in New York.
What do you mean, work for you?
Run little errands for me.
Errands?
Yeah, like holding up a filling station or busting in a store.
Oh?
You see, I did it the smart way. I made all the plans and gave all the orders, and Freddie and them other punks in the neighborhood did all the work and took all the raps.
Well, then you're the leader of the gang that Freddie used to belong to, aren't you?
Ah, you're getting me right, Angel Face. And let me straighten you out about me and Freddie in that store we almost robbed on River Street.
So you and Freddie were going to rob him?
Yeah, till your preaching to him made him a scared bum and turned on me, and he knocked me out before we got in the joint.
Mr. Carver, you told the police that you and Freddie caught someone else trying to rob the store and that you were knocked out by some strange person.
Sure, that's what I told the cops. You think I wanted to tell them the truth? I'd be in jail now, and so would Freddie.
Mm-hmm. But you didn't tell that story to save Freddie, did you?
I sure didn't, Miss Gibbs. I told it to save myself. And to get a chance to do this to you.
Mr. Carver, why do you want to do anything to me?
Because Freddie was a good kid. He'd do anything I told him, no matter what it was. Till he got mixed up with you and you made a choir boy out of him. It was your doings that sent me to the hospital with a busted skull.
Why, you fool. Because of that, you're risking life imprisonment or worse?
You just let me worry about what I risked, Miss Gibbs. And as for which of the two of us is a fool, we'll see about that when it comes to time for the payoff.
And, just what is the payoff, as you call it?
You getting worried?
Mr. Carver, I've been worried for some time. Frankly, I think I'm in the hands of a pair of maniacs.
Oh. I was a fool a minute ago. Now I'm a maniac, huh? You sure love to toss the compliments around, don't you, Miss Gibbs? Well, we'll start tossing you around in a little while.
Meaning?
Meaning I'm ready to get it over with now. You're too good-looking. I don't want that angel face of yours to begin to get me, make me turn soft at the last minute.
Well, if my looks bother you so much, why don't you let me go?
You got a sense of humor, too, huh? You know something, Miss Gibbs?
No, what?
I like your spirit.
How nice.
Yeah, you got a backbone. When you come right down to it, I sort of like you, too.
Well, I'm flattered.
Yeah, I mean it. Angel Face, you got something. You're not like other dames crying and begging when they're in a jam. You stand right up and you talk back to me. You know something?
No, what?
Maybe you and me can make a deal. Maybe there's a...
No, thanks. I don't care to make any deals with you.
Ah, now, Angel Face, you don't want to be like that. You know, maybe if I show you I can be a nice, gentle fellow.
Wait. You come near me again and I'll hit you again.
You ain't gonna get a chance to hit me again, sweetheart. You ain't gonna get a chance.
I can't find any footprints in the ground on this side of the house, Johnny.
There's not a sign of any up here by the front porch either, Pat.
Oh, gosh, Johnny, you don't think she left home by herself, do you? Just went down the front walk.
No, Pat. Someone in the block behind your house thinks Penny got into a car with another man last night. Professor Rogers thinks that man was Bill Carver.
But I can't believe it, Johnny. Why would Carver do this to Penny?
Well, Stewart says Jerry Manson's behind the whole thing.
Oh. Well, then it's really true that Carver and Jerry Manson have met.
Oh, yes, they were seen together once. Jerry came back to town to get revenge on Penny, that's obvious. She met Carver, and undoubtedly they worked out something together.
But why should Carver care about Jerry Manson and her hate for Penny?
Well, Stewart says Carver and Freddie Lang are more than just casual friends. And what Carver's doing to Penny has something to do with Freddie.
Oh, well, I don't get it. I don't get any of this. But come on, let's look around the house again. The police think there's still a clue around here somewhere.
Well, if there is a clue, we wouldn't recognize it if the police saw it. Let's go in the house, Pat. Professor said he'd call us at 3. It's almost that now.
Okay. But does Stewart really think that Penny's kidnapped?
Yeah, he does. We might all just as well face it, Pat. Hey, what's this on the stairs?
Huh?
That's a hair rip.
Oh, that's Suzanne's.
Oh, thought it might be Penny's.
No, Penny doesn't wear a ribbon in her hair anymore. Johnny, I'm getting awful scared. plenty worried.
Well, worry isn't going to help, Pat.
I guess not. Gosh, pretty soon it's going to be 24 hours. Not a word from Penny. Not a sign of her anywhere.
Oh, now sit down, Pat. Take it easy.
Take it easy, huh? How can I? Oh, gee. Last time I saw Penny, she was sitting right here on this piano bench.
Yeah. Last time I saw her, she was on a porch swing. I wish I hadn't left her there.
Oh, don't blame yourself. If she's kidnapped, whoever took her away was probably watching you and just waiting for you to leave. Gosh, if Penny were here now, I'll bet we'd be singing together.
Pat, you want to try something?
What?
May seem sort of silly, but you can play the piano a little, can't you?
A little.
Well, look, why don't you sing one of Penny's favorite songs?
Huh?
Crazy as it sounds, who knows? Maybe she'll walk in on it. Right in the middle of it.
Okay, I'll give it a try. Penny, wherever you are, come home now, will you? Because this is your song. For you.
How much do I love you? I'll tell you no lie. How deep is the ocean? How high is the sky? How many times a day do I think of you? How many roses are sprinkled with dew? How far would I travel to be where you are? How far is the journey from here to a star? And if I ever lost you, how much would I cry? How deep is the ocean? How high is the sky?
We've been watching the front door, Pat.
Mm-hmm. You were watching it too, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. I guess the song didn't do any good, did it?
No, it was a stupid idea, Johnny. I'm afraid it's going to take a lot more than a song to bring Penny back home again.
And how right he is. Why won't Bill Carver tell Penny what he intends to do to her? What are his plans? Will Penny ever return home again? Be sure to listen to the next dramatic episode of Hearts in Harmony. There's a very special day coming when we can say that famous Kroger Tenderay beef is once more plentiful. Right now, though, there's not much chance of getting it. But wait. Every day of this week is a mighty special one at your Kroger store. You see, this is Cheese Week at Kroger's. There's a world of tasty goodness in cheese, and the folks at Kroger's want you to discover that fact for yourself. Now, there are many tempting ways of serving flavorful Kroger cheese with a meal, or in salads or sandwiches. But for an unbeatable dessert combination, serve cheese and fruit. Man, oh man, talk about zestful eating. Well, it's yours in cheese and fruit. Surprise your family with a colorful tray of cheese and fresh fruit by visiting your Kroger store and selecting your favorite Kroger cheese and fruit. Both are priced for real economy.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight's story, Nightfall, by Isaac Asimov.
Ralph Waldo Emerson speculated, if the stars should appear one night in 1,000 years, how would man believe and adore and perceive for many generations the remembrance of the city of God? This was philosophically interesting. But on the edge of the galaxy, a planet swings on its orbit in a cluster of 6 suns. These suns hang in the sky above. Never less than 2 shine down through the entire 23.8 hours of the planet's day. The yellow light has burned down on the planet continuously, into the past, till the mind of man runneth not to the contrary. Theremin was a reporter for the Sarro City Chronicle. He covered them all, from the night police beat to politics to the sports pages, and the city editor wanted him to cover the biggest story of the year, perhaps of all time. It was an interview, a particularly difficult interview. But then, since his first days as a cub, Theremin had specialized in difficult interviews. It cost him bruises, black eyes, and broken bones, but it had gotten him an ample supply of coolness and self-confidence. He didn't expect violence, though, from an astronomer.
You're from that newspaper? Well, you got a lot of gall coming here.
Well, now, look, Dr. Aton, it's only a job.
I've read your paper. You've been writing this observatory for 2 months now. You've attacked me personally. I have nothing to say to you.
Well, this is your chance to get your side into the paper. Look, Dr. Aton, I'll give it to you straight. 2 months ago, the observatory issued a press statement that the world was coming to an end. Now, that's the same story the cult of the Book of Revelations had been preaching. Now, when a scientist backs that up, it's news.
Our conclusions have nothing to do with the cult. The cult is full of superstition and mysticism. We're scientists.
You've got the people pretty angry.
It doesn't matter.
If I can't get the story from you, I'll have to go somewhere else.
Go ahead.
The paper can be pretty rough on someone who doesn't cooperate, Dr. Aton.
Young man, if you're not out of the observatory within 5 minutes, I shall call the police. Now get out.
The reporter walks down the long hall from the observatory. The light filters through the high, clear-story windows, the yellow light of Gamma, the brightest of the 6 suns in the planet's sky. Beta is almost at zenith. Its red light floods the landscape to an unusual orange. The planet's sun Alpha is at the antipodes, and now as Gamma sinks below the horizon, the red dwarf sun Beta is alone, grimly alone. It's a short drive from the observatory to Sarro City, and the red light glares from the highway. The temple of the cult stands hewn from the solid rock of the Dormite Mountains outside the city, and in the inner courtyard stands Sor, the priest of the cult.
Woe to the unbelievers! Their souls will rot with the absence of light.
Tell me, Your Reverence, what will happen? What are you waiting for here?
The day of the coming. It is written in the Book of Revelations. It came to pass the sun Beta was alone in the sky, and the world was shrunken and cold. And men did assemble in the public squares and highways. Their minds were troubled, and their speech confused. But the souls of men awaited the coming of the stars. And the lip of the cave of darkness passed the edge of Beta, and loud were the cries of men, and there was no light on the surface of the world. And in this blackness there appeared the stars in countless numbers, and in that moment the souls of men departed from them, and their abandoned bodies became even as beasts. From the stars then reached down the heavens flame, and where it touched, the cities of the world flamed to destruction, the bed of man, and all the works of man, not from end. So it is written.
Dr. Sharon, you're the only scientist I could find in the city. Where is everybody?
In the hideout.
The hideout?
Yes, but the place bored me. I wanted to be out here where things are getting hot. I want to see the stars the cultists are talking about. Besides, they don't want me at the hideout. I'm too scrawny to survive.
What is the hideout?
Well, we professors have managed to convince a few people that our prophecy of doom is valid. We've got about 3,000 people. They're supposed to hide where the darkness and the stars can't get at them. We hope they'll survive and leave the records.
Survive? Survive what?
Well, how true it is, I can't say, but the cultists say that every 2,050 years all the suns disappear, and there is a total darkness, and then they say things called stars appear. Of course, men go mad. They mix all this up with a lot of religio-mystic notions, but that's the central idea.
But that's impossible, isn't it? I mean, there are always at least 2 suns in the sky, most of the time 4 or 5.
There aren't now. Only Beta.
You mean that there is going to be worldwide darkness tomorrow, that all mankind will go violently insane? What's behind that?
Well, for one thing, the history of civilization of the world. We have located a series of cycles of civilizations comparable to our own, all of which, without exception, were destroyed by fire at the very height of their culture.
But is there any scientific theory behind this which would explain it?
Well, the University Observatory finished their calculations 2 months ago. And tomorrow there will be an eclipse of Beta so that the planet will become dark. That eclipse comes every 2,049 years. Darkness. And maybe those mysterious stars that no man has seen. And then madness and the end of civilization.
And you expect to live through this at the hideout?
They plan to photograph the eclipse and leave the records. And then the rest of mankind will know what to expect.
Well, what is there in darkness to drive men mad?
Have you ever experienced darkness, young man?
Well, no, but I know what it is. It's just no light.
Oh. Draw the curtain.
Why, what for? If we had 4 or 5 suns out there, we might want to cut the light down for comfort, but with only Beta...
Ah, that's the point. Just draw the curtain and then come here and sit down.
All right. I can't see you.
Feel your way.
But I can't see you. I can't see anything.
Do you like it?
Oh, it's awful. The walls seem to be closing in on me. I keep wanting to push them away.
All right. Draw the curtain back again.
Oh, the light. Do you have a drink?
Right here. Now, that was just a dark room.
Yes, but it wasn't really so bad.
You're afraid?
Just darkness could do that?
This isn't just a metaphysical theory, young man. It's promulgated from observed data. Well, come with me.
Where?
The locked wall down the corridor. Were you at the Cerro City Centennial Exposition 2 years ago?
I was overseas on assignment.
Well, you remember hearing about the tunnel of mystery that broke all records in the amusement area?
Oh, yes. Wasn't there some fuss about that? The Anti-Vice Society had it shut down.
Oh, it was shut down, all right. But the Blue Noses had nothing to do with it. That tunnel was nothing but a mile-long passage through darkness. You rode in a little car, and it took 15 minutes to get through. Oh, it was very popular while it lasted.
Popular?
Well, there's a fascination to be frightened when it's part of a game. Absence of light is one of the instinctive human fears. People came out of that 15 minutes of darkness shaking and half dead with fear.
Weren't there some deaths?
Oh, bad hearts, but that wasn't the big danger. Now, which key is this?
Where are we going?
You'll see. No, the heart attacks were actually good for business, but there was something else. Here, I'll show you. I want you to see somebody. Latimer. Latimer.
Go away.
Latimer, I want you to meet somebody. This is Mr. Theremin.
No, go away.
Hello?
He's pushing me. Make him stop pushing me. Go away.
I'm not touching him. What's wrong?
Latimer is afraid, aren't you?
The walls. They're falling in on me. The walls. I've got to get out. I've got to get out. Let me out.
You can't go out, Latimer. This is all right.
I've got to get out. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out.
At sleeping period, we have to give him a shot of morphine. Otherwise, he'd bat his brains against the wall.
What's wrong with him?
Nothing. Nothing but 15 minutes in the darkness of the tunnel of mystery.
Oh, that's impossible.
1 person out of 10 came out of the tunnel that way. That's why we had it shut down.
But why should darkness do that?
It's obvious men cannot exist without light. Longer periods of darkness would obviously be fatal. The scientific theory is that the consciousness of light is necessary for mental activity.
Please, Doctor, let me outside. Let me out, please. I can't breathe. They're pushing me. They're always pushing me. I can't stand here.
Well, there you are, Theremin. That's what 15 minutes of darkness will do. Man just wasn't built to operate without light. There are always at least 2 suns in the sky, most of the time more.
Just 15 minutes of darkness.
Now, look out of that window. Imagine darkness everywhere. No light as far as you can see. Black. Everything black. And, stars, whatever they are. Can you conceive it? No, your mind wasn't built for that conception. When the real thing comes, you will go mad. Completely and permanently. There is no question of it. Tomorrow, there won't be a city left standing in the world.
Why should the cities be destroyed?
If you were in darkness, what would you want more than anything else? What would it be that every instinct would call for? Light. And how would you get light?
I don't know.
You'd burn something. They've got to have light. They've got to burn something. And every city in the world will go up in flames. Well, shall we go back to my office, Mr. Theremin, and have another drink?
Through the skies, the red sun Beta shines alone. The wind howls across the city. It is cold, colder than man can remember. And as the hour approaches, the reporter goes out and speaks to the man in the street.
Excuse me, where are you going now?
Home for supper.
How about, what are you going to do tonight?
Oh, you mean about this star stuff? Look, I'll tell you, mister, I got nothing against religion, see? But it don't stand to reason that the end of the world is going to come boom like that. It just don't stand to reason.
Have you read what the scientists say?
I don't read stuff like that, only the headlines.
Well, how about the cult?
Well, now, like I say, I've got nothing against religion.
But you don't believe them either.
They've always been shouting about doom and sin. Listen, when you've been around as long as I have, you get to know the score. It's all right to preach Judgment Day is coming and all that, but just the same, I'm putting money in the bank.
How about darkness?
About what?
How would you feel if there were no light?
You crazy. How could there be no light?
Well, suppose all the suns went down at once. Suppose everything was black.
That's crazy. What's the use of supposing something like that? It couldn't happen. It's crazy.
That's all. Thank you.
Sure. Oh, look, mister, remember, pallet with 2 L's?
All this talk of scientific explanation. It's sinful, that's what it is.
Are you a member of the cult, sir?
Sure I am. Been a member since I was a boy. My daddy was a member, too. I've seen the books. It's all written down in the books.
Don't you believe the scientist's explanation?
Don't need it. I'm going to save my immortal soul. I'm going to stay on the mountaintop in a white robe while the stars carry me away to glory. Blessed be the stars. Amen.
What are the stars?
The glory. They're the breath of the heavens. The spirit of the ultimate. That's what they are.
The observatory has announced that it intends to take pictures of the stars.
Blasphemy. I sold my house. I gave all my money to the poor. Won't need it anymore. I'm going to heaven with the stars. Glory, glory, going with the stars.
The reporter checks the stock exchange, the stores, business at a standstill. Doesn't pay to buy anything today, not if the world is going to end tomorrow. There are predictions of economic collapse in the financial section, layoffs at the factories on the edge of the city. And through the streets the people will mill and turn, unsure, crying in fear or shouting with bravado. The story isn't here in the city. And so as the hour approaches, the reporter goes again to the observatory, high in the hills.
Look, Dr. Aton, if you are right, if the world is going to be destroyed, what is the difference if I stay here and observe and take notes?
Nothing, I suppose. You will be in the way. We have work to do.
If I stay out of the way.
Hello, hello. Oh, this place is like a morgue. It's freezing outside. The wind is enough to hang icicles on your nose. Beta doesn't seem to give any heat at all, the distance it is.
Why aren't you in the hideout, Sharon?
Me? I'm part of the race that isn't worth perpetuating. Who's got a bottle?
There'll be no alcohol today. It'd be too easy to get my men drunk. I can't afford to tempt them. All right, Thurman, you can stay. Time we took our positions. The observatory dome is up these stairs.
After you. Ah! What is that?
Up in the dome, quick!
What is it?
It's the plates. The photographic plates. They're all smashed.
There he is. A cultist.
He's going for the telescope. After him.
All right, I've got him. Let go. No. Let go. Must be destroyed. It must be.
It's all right. He didn't harm anything. Let him up.
That's the high priest. I was talking to him yesterday.
All right. What do you want?
Nothing that you would give me of your own free will.
I made a bargain with the cult to give me certain data that you had. In return, I promised to prove the essential truth of the creed.
There was no need to prove that. It stands proven by the book of Revelations.
I offered scientific backing for you believers.
You made of the darkness and the stars a natural phenomenon and removed all its real significance. That was blasphemy.
The facts exist.
Your facts are a fraud and a delusion.
How do you know?
I know.
I suppose you think in trying to warn the world against the menace of madness, we are placing souls in jeopardy, huh? Well, we haven't succeeded, if that makes you feel better.
Your devilish instruments must be destroyed. We obey the will of the stars.
Someone call the police in Cerro City.
There's no time for that. Let me handle this. The eclipse is only a few minutes away. Look, you. Will you give your word of honor to cause no trouble?
I will not.
Listen. Just as soon as the eclipse starts, we're going to take you and put you in a closet with the door closed, and you will stay there. Then you won't see the darkness, and you won't see the stars. And that means the loss of your immortal soul, according to the cult. All right. Will you give your word of honor?
You have it. You will all be damned for your deeds of today.
Look at Beta. The eclipse has started. You can see the blackness against Beta. Get busy on those cameras. Check the exposures very carefully.
You're shaking, Mr. Fetterman.
Yes, I don't feel very well.
You're not losing your nerve.
No, I'm just not used to it.
You could probably make the hideout.
I have been assigned to cover a story. I intend to cover it.
Oh, professional honor?
Yes.
Yes. Allah Sofanet Radrock. Allah Sofanet.
What is that?
The cultist. That's the book of Revelations.
I don't understand it.
He is chanting some old cycle language. The book of Revelations was originally written in it. There are probably 2 million people in Cerro City who are trying to join the cult. One gigantic revival.
How do the cultists manage to keep the book of Revelations going from cycle to cycle if everyone goes mad? Who wrote the book?
There are some people who don't see the stars. the blind, those who drink themselves into a stupor, and children, to whom the world as a whole is too new and too strange for them to be frightened at stars and darkness. They would have memories, and that, combined with the confused, incoherent babbling of the mad, formed the basis for the book of Revelations. Oh, the cult will be riding high down there in the city. I hope they make the most of it.
Dr. Sharon, I just heard from the hideout on the private line.
Oh, they're in trouble?
They are safe, but the city is a shambles. You have no idea.
Well, it'll get worse. What are you shaking about, Dr. Ayton? How do you feel?
You don't understand. The cultists are rousing the people to storm the observatory, promising them immediate entrance into grace, promising them salvation, promising them anything.
How long till the total eclipse?
An hour.
Well, it's a gamble. It will take time to get a mob out here. If the darkness comes first, we're all right.
Oh, look at Beta. It's cut in half. Half of it is black.
Yes, it's getting darker. An interesting phenomenon. Oh, my collar is suddenly tight. Are you having any difficulty in breathing?
No, why?
Difficulty in breathing is one of the first symptoms. We have experimented.
I'm cold. Seems to be getting colder.
Yes, so we'd better keep our minds on something else. One of the astronomers has a theory about the stars, far away to see in the light. He developed a fantasy about a planet revolving around one sun. It's a mathematical possibility. Of course, there couldn't be any life. Part of the planet would always be dark and without light. Well, it's obvious. Without light, there can't be any life.
It's time for the artificial light. We can't read the instruments.
Artificial light?
One of the researchers at the university worked it out.
Why, it's beautiful. Yellow light. After 4 hours of red. It's beautiful. Light. Light.
The dome is quiet. The priest in his yellow robe sways slowly as his lips move in the ancient tongue. Over and over he whispers the invocation to the stars. The technicians hunch over the instruments, and the sky gradually turns a horrible deep purple red, and the air grows denser. Dusk, like a palpable entity, enters the room, and the dancing circle of yellow light about the torches etches itself into ever sharper distinction against the ever-gathering grayness beyond. Outside, Beta is a mere smoldering splendor, taking a last look at the world. The western horizon, in the direction of the city, is lost in darkness, and along the highway to the observatory surges a menacing, shadowy mass.
Mob from the city, they're coming.
How long till total eclipse?
15 minutes. But they'll be here in 5.
We'll hold them off. Come on, Fetterman, downstairs.
But there's no light down there.
We have to block the door. Come on.
I can't breathe. I can't go down there.
Take a torch. We'll take light with us. Come on. Ayton.
I'm here. Did you bar the door?
They won't get in.
All right, now, everybody. 1 minute till totality. 1 minute. Just before totality, I'm changing the plate. That will leave one of you for each camera. You know all about times of exposure. Now, remember, don't try to look for good shots. And if you feel yourself going, get away from the camera.
It's dark. It's getting dark.
Sharon, where are you? I can't see you, Sharon.
I'm right here.
30 seconds.
Look out. The priest.
I can't see him.
And the wicked shall perish in the souls of the true believers, shall be transported in glory to the stars.
You can see him against the torch.
Don't let him get to the telescope.
The stars that reach down a heavenly flame, and where it touched the cities of the world, flame to utter destruction.
Grab him!
You shall not
Grab him!
blaspheme The world must be destroyed by the stars. It must be. Let me go.
I'll take care of him.
5 seconds to totality. 4, 3, 2, 1.
The sky is black, and through it shine the stars. 30,000 minute suns shine down in a soul-searing splendor. It is more frightening in its awful indifference than the bitter wind that shivers across the horrible, cold, bleak world.
The stars. The stars. The stars. It's dark. 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 The walls. The walls are coming in on me. They're coming in. Light. 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 Darkness. Forever.
Light.
And ever. And ever.
Light.
And the walls
Light.
are breaking in. We did not know. We did not know. We did not know.
On the horizon, in the direction of the city, a crimson glow begins growing. 1,000 fires strengthen in brightness that is not the glow of the sun. 1,000,000 fires, as a world mad in the darkness screams in terror for the light. The night has come again.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you Nightfall by Isaac Asimov, adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in the cast were Wendell Holmes, John Larkin, Santos Ortega, Mercer McLeod, Alan Collins, Bob Hastings, and Roy Fent. Your narrator was Floyd Mack. Fred Collins speaking. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
It's groomed for your interests. Weekday NBC Radio.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in 1,000,000 could-be years on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction, presents X-1. Tonight's story, To the Future, by Ray Bradbury. Time is an interesting phenomenon. A ticking clock, the running sands of an hourglass. All these have captured the imagination of men. But time is more. It exists now and then, and in the future. Suppose we are in the year 1955. Coexistent in time may be worlds we have never seen, the worlds of the past and of the future. The year 1955. It was a spring night in Mexico, fiesta time. The fireworks shot up into the clear, dark sky, and the papier-mâché bull ran about the plaza chasing boys and laughing men. Mr. and Mrs. William Travis stood on the edge of the yelling crowd, smiling.
Bill, what is it? What did you say?
They're cheering for the bull. Here he comes. Good, isn't he? How they rigged that fire breathing.
Bill, it's wonderful. I've never enjoyed myself so much in my life.
It's terrific. They caught the bull. Bravo, Toro!
Bill, it will go on, won't it? I mean, our trip.
Sue, don't worry. I've got enough traveler's check for a lifetime. Relax.
No, but suppose they find us.
Forget it. They haven't a chance.
Suppose they do. Suppose they take us back.
They'll never find us. Oh, relax. Enjoy yourself.
If it only lasts.
Come on. Let's get out of the crowd. You need a drink.
Let's try something different this time. I want to try every drink there is in the world.
Don't worry. There's no rush. We've got plenty of time now. In here. There's a table over there. Come on.
Bill.
What's the matter?
Don't look right away.
Huh?
Over your left shoulder, right by the end of the bar. That man.
What is it?
I saw him this morning in the plaza.
Take it easy. The town's full of tourists.
He was at Juarez and at Tasco. Bill, I'm afraid.
Don't stare at him. Come on.
I know it's the same man. He was wearing the same white suit.
Sit down, Sue. Come on, dear. Smile. Act natural.
Bill, he's been following us. He's a searcher. I know he is.
Quiet. Here, boy.
Si, senor.
Benedictine and brandy, too.
Si, senor.
He's been watching us, Bill.
Put yourself together, Susan.
They can't take us back.
Will you quit worrying? The chances are 1 in 1,000 that they found us. It's probably just a coincidence.
I want to lie down. I think I'm going to be sick.
Susan, hang on, will you? If he is looking for us, we can't run out. It'd attract attention.
He must have slipped up when we checked out in New York.
What's he doing now?
Stopped our waiter. He's asking him something.
Well, may just want a drink.
Bill, I can't stand it. I've got to go upstairs and lie down.
All right. As soon as we finish our drinks. What's he doing now?
He's nodding at me. As if he knows me. He's smiling. Bill, he's coming over here.
Watch yourself. We've got to go right on in front of him, so if he is what we think he is, he won't suspect.
I can't.
We've got to. Come on. So I said to David, that's absolutely ridiculous. What do you...
Mr. Kristen, you did not pull up your pants leg when you sat down.
What? I'm afraid you've got the wrong person. My name isn't Chrysler.
Kristen.
Oh. I'm William Travis. I don't see what my pants leg has to do with it.
Oh, mind if I sit down? See, everyone nowadays pulls up his pants leg when he sits down. Like this. See, it keeps the trousers from bagging at the knees. But, of course, if you're not used to this style of clothing...
Now, see here, we don't know you.
You don't? I'm sorry. I thought I knew you.
This is our table, if you don't mind.
You see, I'm looking for 2 friends of mine. A man and his wife. Very much like you. The man is an atomic scientist. The wife, a bacteriologist. Very important people. They work on government business.
What are you talking about?
And when I find my friends, I'm going to take them home with me.
Look here, Mr.
Sims. That will do for now.
Well, look, I understand you thought you knew us, but you see, you're mistaken. If you'll excuse us, my wife and I were just going up to our room. We have to make an early start in the morning.
Oh, going for a trip? Acapulco, perhaps? Oh, a lovely spot.
Never mind where we're going.
Yes, of course. You don't like crowds, tourists. Probably like to get off the beaten path. You know, I have a vacation folder here that might interest you.
Please, Bill, let's go.
It's put out by an outfit that calls itself Travel in Time, Incorporated.
Travel in time?
Yes. They've come up with a rather intriguing idea. Here. Travel in Time, Incorporated can costume you, put you in the crowd at any place and time in history. We guarantee to teach you any language you need to move freely in any year without risk of detection. This summer, why not escape from the worries of our modern world? Take your vacation in time.
That's impossible, of course.
But think what it would mean. A chance to escape all the tensions of an unpleasant life. War, insecurity, fear. Suppose you were a scientist working on a dangerous bomb project. Or you, Mrs. Travis. Suppose you were a bacteriologist working on disease cultures, and you had a chance to escape all that, to take a vacation 200 years in the past. It would be wonderful, wouldn't it, to escape to a more peaceful world? A trip back to 1955?
1955? But you said a vacation in the past.
So I did. But you see, 1955 is the past. If you come from the year 2155.
2155?
Yes. Terrible times, most unpleasant. A war raging, an atomic, bacteriological war. Terrible times, with none of the little comforts we enjoy today. Like this fine Havana cigar.
Well, I want to go upstairs. I want to lie down.
If you were living then, think of how wonderful it would be to take a vacation in time. Back to now. Suppose a young couple like yourselves took a trip to 1955 and didn't want to come back. Do you know what would happen? The government sends a searcher back to look for them.
This is all fantastic
The
nonsense.
searcher finds them and brings them back. Back to that miserable, insane, stark, pleasureless world of 2155. A pity, isn't it?
Look here, Sims.
Well, do you think I shall find my two friends, Mr. Travis?
Bill, please take me upstairs. I don't feel well.
Oh, is the lady feeling a bit ill? How unfortunate.
Here are the drinks, senor.
Ah. Well, shall we drink a toast? To 2155. To the future.
Inside. Inside, quick.
What are you doing?
Shoving a chair under the doorknob.
He knows. He's been following us. He's a searcher.
Look, keep quiet, Sue. I want to
He's
think.
going to take us back.
It isn't over yet. I've got a headache.
I'll get you an aspirin. What will they do to us?
I don't know. Something slipped. Something must have slipped.
But we were so careful.
The searchers are trained to watch for detail. Things like not pulling up my trousers. Started them thinking, there's a man who isn't used to ancient clothes. I could kill myself for giving it away.
No, it was my walk with these high heels. Here.
Thanks. The nerve of that Sim sitting there looking us up and down like animals, smoking those stinking cigarettes.
No, that's how I first noticed him at Tasco. He had 4 bottles of liqueurs and a pile of chocolate.
Yes, he still hasn't gotten over that first greedy hunger. We've got to look out for that. It's the sure sign of somebody from the future. Trying to make up for a lifetime of shortages by stuffing yourself sick. Remember our first night?
Bill, I can't stand it. We've got to get out of here.
What are you doing?
Packing. Get the suitcases up.
It's no use.
What do you mean? We can get to Acapulco by morning.
Don't you think he's watching?
We could get away.
No. You've got to sit tight. Maybe he isn't sure of us yet. Maybe we can still figure out some way to escape. Come on now. We'll need our strength. We'd better try to get some sleep.
No, I won't go back. Security pull it. The bomb is falling and killing.
What's the matter,
No,
Sue?
no.
Sue, wake up, Sue.
Bill, where are we?
All right. Calm down, honey. We're still in 1955. It's all right.
Oh.
You must have had a nightmare.
Oh, Bill, it was awful. We were back there, 2155. Bill, we won't go back there, will we ever?
Go back to sleep, honey. It's all right. We're in Mexico, 1955, and we're going to stay here. So I've been lying awake here thinking. He's still testing us. He's not absolutely certain. He's got all the time in the world. He can stay here as long as he likes.
Then bring us back to the future 60 seconds after we left it.
They can't make a scene, can they? They don't dare come out in the open.
No, it might change the future. They're afraid of that.
Bill, if we could only tell somebody, ask for
You
help.
know we can't. That's why we had to submit to the psychological block treatment before they okayed our vacation. We couldn't tell if we tried. The block's too strong.
Maybe we can break it, Bill.
What's the use, darling? Who'd believe a crazy story like ours? Who'd believe we come from 2155? No, we can't tell. And they'll have to get us a loan to put us in the time machine to send us back.
Then that's it, Bill. We'll never be alone. It's still siesta tomorrow. It'll be easy to stay in the crowd.
Yes, that's the only chance. We can't let him get us alone. He won't get us back to that war and that insane world.
Bill.
Could be the room clerk.
At 3 in the morning?
I'd better answer.
Don't, Bill, don't.
I've got to. Hello? Hello?
Mr. Travis?
What's the idea? It's 3 in the morning.
Yes. I just wanted to remind you, the rabbits may hide in the forest, but a fox can always find them.
What was it, Bill? Bill.
Never mind. Come on. Let's get some sleep. While we can.
Buenos dias, senor y señora.
Good morning, Senor Gomez.
I trust you are spending pleasant days in my hotel. Fiesta time is the best.
Yes, it's been lovely.
Your special table is all ready for breakfast.
Hey, where in blazes the hotel? You, Buster, where's the hotel in this godforsaken sinkhole of a one-horse town? All the blighted deserts of the whole stinking country. I had to...
Oh, great excitement. Very great.
What is it?
They come with 4 trucks and innumerable automobiles. A motion picture company from Hollywood.
Oh, what are they doing down here?
They make the pictures of our fiesta for the background. That fat man, the one with the most colorful shirt, he is the chief.
Manager!
Director.
Manager! Where's the manager of this Adobe Playback?
Coming, senor. You will excuse me, senor. I hope the table is satisfactory. Coming, senor.
This is a break, so that movie company will draw crowds, and that helps us.
When can we leave, Bill?
Oh, not today. He'd be...
Okay, kids, end of the line. Ciao. Get it up, Maxwell, and lay off the pepper. I got to know, sir.
Bill, there's Sims across the dining room.
Can't do anything now, not with these actors coming in.
Gloria, you sit next to Papa. Hello. Max, make sure nobody monkeys with the trucks and the gear.
Right, Chief. Do we have to eat at this crummy joint, Joe?
Cheer up, sweetie. Your mere presence makes this chasins and truck roll into one.
Oh, not this early in the morning, Joe. I couldn't stand it.
Okay. Anything you want, laddies. It's on the dear old expense account.
They look happy, don't they?
There's an idea. Maybe I could hire 2 of them. I could say it was a joke.
Why?
We could dress them in our clothes, have them drive off in our car sometime when Sims couldn't see their faces.
Where would that get us?
With him off on their trail, we might make it to Mexico City. It'd take years to find us there.
Wait, that movie man's coming over.
Excuse me, you folks are Americans, aren't you?
That's right.
Boy, am I glad to see you. I'm so sick of hearing Spanish, I could kiss you. Hey, come on over and eat with us, huh?
Well, I don't think we should intrude.
Oh, come on. Misery loves company. I'm Misery, and that's the company. We're from Hollywood.
So I understand.
Yeah. Boy, would I like to be there. I'm Joe Melton. I'm the director.
I'm William Travis. This is my wife, Susan.
Mutual. Come on over, kids. Join the party. Cheer us up. Only no tamales. I burned out 3 kidneys on tamales since I came over the border. Boy, am I funny, huh?
Wonderful.
Well, come on over. Hey, kiddies, I got new blood. Brother Yanks.
Just a moment, Mr. Travis. I thought you might be breakfasting with me, alone.
Sorry.
I got him first, Mac. You want to join us?
No, I've already ordered. Mr. Travis, I think you'd better talk with me.
Say,
now.
Is this guy giving you trouble?
It's all right.
Then I'll say the word, and I'll have Max pitch him out in his ear.
No, it's all right. We'll be right over, Mr. Melton.
Bill.
We'll talk to Mr. Sims. Mr. Melton, you sort of
keep an eye on us, huh? After all, you found us first.
Yeah, sure. Well, come on over soon, kids.
Sit down, Mr. Travis. I hope you slept well.
Did you?
Well, I'm not used to spring mattresses, but there are compensations. I stayed up half the night trying new cigarettes and foods. A whole new spectrum of sensation, these ancient vices. We miss something in our world, don't we? And when we get back here, we try to cram it all in a few short days.
We don't know what you're talking about.
Still acting, eh? But it's no use. You can't stay in crowds all the time. I'll get you alone soon enough. I'm immensely patient. However, let's come to the point. You know we can't let you get away with this escape. Other people in the year 2155 might get the same idea and do the same thing. And we need people.
To fight your wars?
Bill.
It's all right, Susan. We can talk on his terms now. He's got us. We can't escape.
Oh, at last. Really, you've been incredibly romantic, running away from your responsibilities.
Running away from horror.
Oh, nonsense. Only a war.
Only? With half the world dead and the other half dying?
Yes, but we can't have you escaping here while we drop off a cliff. Dying people love to know that others died with them.
Hey, kids, break it up. We're waiting on you.
The longer you keep me waiting, the harder it will go on you.
What do you mean?
We need you on that bomb project. Return now, and no torture.
Torture?
Yes. You see, later we'll force you to work, and after you finish the bomb, we'll try a number of complicated new devices on you.
Yeah.
As you say, you can't escape. We have all the time in the world. Here.
Sims, I'll make a deal with you. I'll come back now. If my wife stays here, alive, safe, away from that war.
No, Bill,
Keep
no.
quiet, Sue. Well, Sims, you need me for that bomb. You can duplicate her work.
It exceeds my authority, but, all right. Meet me in the plaza in 10 minutes.
All right. I'll pick you up in the car.
Good. We'll drive out into the country to some deserted spot, and I'll have the time travel machine pick us up.
Bill, I won't let you.
Don't argue, dear. It's settled. Sims, there's one thing.
Yes?
Last night, instead of calling, you could have broken into our room and got us. Why didn't you?
Shall we say that I was enjoying myself? Take this new fine cigar, for example. Wonderful. Wonderful. Do you know that I have 12 boxes up in my room? And liqueurs, crème de menthe, Benedictine, crème de coca, and so many others. And the wine. Oh, I've got the closets full of them. And I shall so hate to leave it all. Well, I'll meet you in the plaza in 10 minutes. Your wife may stay here as long as she wishes.
All right, Sims, it's a deal.
Don't try anything now, Travis.
I know when I'm beat. We just want a few minutes to say goodbye.
I shall be seeing you then.
No, I won't let you do it. I won't let you.
Please,
I'm going to
Susan.
tell the truth. I'm going to get help.
You can't. The psychological
We've
block
got to
is-
try. It's our last chance.
Hey, aren't you two going to join us? I
Mr.
thought...
Melton, I've got something to
Huh?
tell you, and you've got to believe me.
Work,
I've
Sue.
got to try.
Now, go ahead, kids. Fill in.
You've got to understand. You see, we really... Bill. Bill, my head.
Huh?
I can't think. My head.
Say, you need a bromo, honey.
That works, Sue. The block's too strong. We better get the car.
Bill. Bill, please.
Someone's crying.
Somebody, please.
Breakfast, no time for people to cry. Now, what in the world could a good-looking kid like you find to cry about?
Bill, I won't let you do it.
Don't make it hard, Susan.
Let me go back with you. We'll get through some way.
You think I'd let you go back to that war? Sue, please stop. We haven't got much
It
time.
was so wonderful here, Bill. Bill, please.
There he is, smoking those Turkish cigarettes, waiting for
There
us.
must be some way we can both stay here.
Maybe there is.
Bill, what are you going to do?
Hang on, Sue, and duck when I tell
No,
you.
Bill, you're heading right for him.
He's not going to get either of us now. Down, Sue, down.
Bill. Oh, Bill.
It's all right, darling. It's all right.
Oh.
It's all over. Darling, this is the mayor.
Senor, your husband has been officially cleared in this most unfortunate affair. It is obvious this Senor Sims died of an unavoidable accident.
An accident? Oh, yes, of course.
Adios, Senor, Senora.
Will they want to see you again?
No. No, I'm clear.
Oh.
I lost control of the car. That's the way it stands. Sue, I hated to kill him. I've never wanted to do anything like that in my life.
Where shall we go now? Mexico City?
The car's in the repair shop. Won't be ready till 4. And we'll get out.
Hey there, Travis. Wait up.
Oh, it's that movie man, Bill. He was very good to me when they had you in there.
Hey, I heard what happened. They sprung you, huh? Great.
Yes, it was an accident.
Well, lucky you didn't get hurt yourselves. Everything okay now?
Yes, I think so.
It's fine. But you both look a little rocky. Say, you want to get your mind off your troubles. We're through for the day. Cloud's fouled up our shooting schedule. We're going to put a header on it up at the hotel. Gloria's cracking the ice now.
Well, maybe we will join you. But first I've got to check up on the car.
Well, don't miss the party, kiddies. See you upstairs.
Bill, I don't think
Relax, honey. We've got the break now. Sims is dead. Before they can put another searcher on our trail, we'll have time to make a clean getaway.
How about the car?
We'll be ready till 4. We've got a couple of hours to kill.
I'm so tired.
What you need is a little excitement. We rate a celebration, honey.
Well, I guess it would be nice to unwind.
Sure. We'll go up to Melton's room, have a couple of drinks, a few laughs. Don't worry, honey. It's all over. We can relax.
Well, Kitty.
Well, we thought we'd join you, Miss Melton.
Great. Call me Joe. Gloria, yank another cord for your company.
Way ahead of you. Here you are, kid.
You kids ready to drink? That was a pretty messy business, but it's all over now, huh?
Yes, it's all over.
Time to unlax. Grab a glass, honey.
Thank you.
Hey, quiet, everybody. Quiet. How about a toast to our guests?
Well,
How about it, huh? Okay. All right. To a very beautiful lady. Lovely enough for the movies.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm not kidding. That's why I came over to you in the first place. I might even give you a test. Oh, I mean it, honey. You're pretty nice. I could make you a movie star.
And take me to Hollywood?
At least it'd get us out of Mexico.
You're not serious.
Well, sure I am. Gloria, how about a refill?
yeah, coming up.
That sounds wonderful, doesn't it, Bill?
Los Angeles is a pretty crowded city, isn't it?
Crowded? Hey, wait till you see the sunset buzz.
Well, you don't really think I could be an actress, do you? You don't have to cheer me up anymore. I'm feeling wonderful now.
No, I'm serious.
Really? Well, what kind of a film do you think my wife would be good for?
Well, I want to do a suspense story. Sort of a war story, you know. Gloria, pour Mr. Travis another glass. A story about a man and a wife. You live in a little house. I'm just ad-libbing this, you understand?
Sure. Go on.
There's a war on, see? A terrible war, you see. And they live in the year, 2155.
Yeah.
Now, here's the gimmick. They escape into the past, and they kill a man who follows them to bring them back. Gloria, honeypot, get Mr. Travis another glass. He dropped his. Well, sir, this couple takes refuge with a group of movie people. Safety in numbers, they figure.
Bill?
But the story goes on. This couple is terribly important for a new bomb. Let's call it the leprosy bomb. So the searchers figure out a way that they can get them alone in a hotel room. Shove a chair into the door now, Max.
Yes, sir.
You see, the searchers may work alone, or in groups of 8, so that if one of them's killed, the rest carry on. Don't you think that'd make a wonderful picture, huh, Susan? Don't you, Bill?
You're not going to get us, Melton. Stand still.
Look out!
Put that gun down, Travis.
Mr. Travis.
Who is it?
The manager. Your car is all ready. Shall I...
Grab him!
Let go of me. Let go!
Let's not make things worse, Mr. Travis.
Let me in. What were those shots? Let me in.
The manager, he heard the shots. Let's get going.
Let go of me.
Let me in there. Let me in.
He'll break down the door in a minute. Max, get ready to travel.
Get a chair.
Take a good look, Mr. Travis. Take a good look at 1955. You won't be seeing it anymore.
Bill!
Throw the switch! All right. Break it down. Who shut that? Where are they?
I was at the door. I heard them inside.
They're gone. The windows. No, the iron bars are undisturbed. What happened to them? They just disappeared, all of them.
Senor, I think you had better send for the police and the holy water.
Later. They just disappeared.
Look in the closet. Bottles. Hundreds of bottles. And boxes of 20 peso pure Havana Viva cigars. These crazy Americanos. Why would anyone leave all this behind?
Juan, never question providence. Bien. There is enough here to last us both for a month. I think we can look forward to a most happy future.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Street and Smith, publishers of astounding science fiction. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you To the Future by Ray Bradbury. It was adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in the cast were Terry Keane, Alexander Scourby, Mercer McLeod, Joe DeSantis, Guy Sorrell, Alan Collins, and Stan Early. This is Fred Collins speaking. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
Next week on X-1, Ray Bradbury's story, Marionettes Incorporated. It's groomed for your interests. Weekday, NBC Radio.
In that dark gray hour just before the dawn, Mrs. Gregory and her chartered rescue boat reached the location of the Magic Island. This weird island has been submerged, raised, and sunk since we saw it last, and Captain Bradford and the girl commander nearly went down with it. They floated all night, clinging to a small rubber life raft, and were just about ready to give up hope when a searchlight swept the sky. Johnson, in the pilot house of the rescue boat, thought he saw a tiny light far ahead and called Mrs. Gregory, Jerry, and Joan to watch with him. Jerry signals with the searchlight, and a faint answering signal is seen. All is excitement aboard the Gregory boat as they bear down rapidly on the two people in the water, the first faint streaks of dawn lighting up the ocean.
There they are, Johnson.
No doubt of it, Mrs. Gregory.
Yep, there's two of them, all right, and they're hanging on to something in the water.
Some form of small life raft, I think.
Yes, Joan, dear. That's what it looks like. Oh, how far are they, Johnson?
Well, we'll pick them up in just 2 or 3 minutes.
Hello, Tex! Hello, Tex!
They cannot hear you, Jerry.
But they're waving their arms. Look, they're all right.
I told you they would be.
Well, they're certainly active enough. Can't be much wrong with them.
Well, I'll go and get the landing stage ready.
Thanks, Jerry. Joan, dear.
Yes, Mother.
Will you go into our cabin, lay out some warm, dry clothes for Elaine, and get out some extra blankets? She'll need them.
Certainly, Mother. I will take care of everything.
Apparently, the captain has managed to keep the Euclideans bottled up. There isn't one in sight.
If he's done that, it's little short of a miracle.
Ahoy, the boat!
Johnson, did you hear that?
Yes, sounded like the captain.
It was. Oh, Johnson, he's all right.
Tex! Hello, Tex!
Oh, Johnson. Tex, he...
Well, I don't blame you much, Mrs. Gregory.
Hey, Skipper! Shove over here, on the double. Move faster than that, man. Can't you see Mrs. Gregory's fainted?
Here, take her in her cabin. I'll give you a hand.
I'm all right. I didn't faint, Johnson.
Well, you certainly gave a good imitation of it. Hold on, Skipper.
Why?
You needn't carry me now, Skipper. I'll be all right.
Fainted.
She didn't faint. Will you please put Mrs. Gregory down?
Thanks, just the same, Skipper.
Isn't there anything in the world which will cause that man to say more than one word at a time?
Nothing. Oh, I'm all right now. How near are we to Texney Lane?
Mighty close now. McLeod!
Aye, Mr. Johnson.
Pull your motors down hard.
Ahoy there, Tex. Are you all right?
They're okay, Pat.
How is Elaine? Doing very nicely, thank you.
Another one of those girls you can't upset.
Oh, Elaine is quite a person.
I've got the landing stage all ready.
Right, Jerry. I'll come back amidships.
Go ahead, Mrs. Gregory. I'll stay on duty here.
Thank you, Johnson. You're always on duty somewhere.
Hurry up, Mrs. Gregory. We're nearly to them.
Coming, Jerry.
Stand by, McLeod. Full speed astern.
Full speed astern.
You'll have that stage alongside you in a minute, Tex.
We're watching it. Be ready to grab this ladder, Elaine.
I will do so, Captain.
Let me go down the ladder, Jerry.
Well, it's swaying pretty badly.
No, I don't mind that. I want to be the one to bring them aboard.
Well, okay, Mrs. Gregory.
Oh, Tex, give me your hand.
I'm all right.
And Elaine, you must be nearly dead.
We did not fare badly.
Come on up the ladder. I'll help you.
Thank you, Mrs. Gregory.
I'm right up here, Elaine. Give me your hand as soon as you get up high enough.
It is good to see you, Jerry.
Boy, it's sure good to see you, too.
I will take charge of Elaine now, Jerry. Come to our cabin, Elaine. You must have some warm, dry clothing at once.
Hey, look. Look at the captain and Mrs. Gregory.
Why, what did you see, Jerry?
Oh, nothing. Not a thing. You hurry up and take Elaine to your cabin.
I do not wish to trouble you. Oh, it is no trouble. Come at once with me,
And
Elaine.
before you do anything else, you're going to get into some dry clothing and have something hot to drink.
No time for that now. Oh,
Gee.
Jerry.
Gee, we're glad to see you, Tex.
Maybe you think I'm not glad to be here.
Did you bottle up all the Euclideans?
We sure did, son. Every last one of them.
Say, how do we get them on board?
Now, Jerry, that can wait. Tex needs some dry clothing and some hot food.
Later, Pat. Just now, we've got to handle this matter of the Euclideans. Something may happen to allow them to escape. We'd better get busy.
Well, what'll we do?
I want you to go up and send Johnson to the radio cabin for instructions. You hold the wheel while he's gone. And tell the engineer not to move off this spot.
Aye, aye, sir. I'll send Johnson.
Tex, you're wet and cold and tired.
All of that, Pat, there, but all of that can wait. Let's go in the radio cabin.
Did things work out according to your plans?
Not entirely. They almost had us when they raised that island again. But the last 2 bottles of my solvent sank the island. Elaine and I managed to hang on all night.
Oh, at least it's warm in here.
Yeah, and I'll have Jerry bring me some hot coffee when he comes back. You haven't heard anything from Euclidean on this radio, I suppose?
No, and we haven't tried to contact them.
Just as well, though they've probably heard all we said to each other.
Well, welcome to the ship, Captain.
Thanks, Johnson. Nice work getting here.
Thanks to McLeod. He cried bitter tears over his poor engines all the way down here. But he kept them running.
Fair enough. Now, here's the setup. I want to take these Euclideans aboard at once. Quarters enough for them?
I think so, Tex. We didn't have time to fix the boat up properly, but there are comfortable, clean quarters for nearly 300 below decks, and food enough to take us back to Los Angeles.
That's all we need. All right, Johnson. I'll get them on the radio and tell them what they're to do. You stay in the bow. Keep the ship in this position. That landing stage is practically over the surface airlock I'll make them come up through.
Well, what if they come up with weapons?
Take one of the crew up forward with you, Johnson. Have him train that large telescope on the spot where Euclideans start popping out of the water. I'll tell them we've got some powerful kind of gun pointing at them. They won't know the difference.
That's a good idea, Captain. But are you sure they'll start popping out?
I'll take care of that with the radio.
Anything else?
That's all.
How about getting them peaceably into the hold once they're aboard, Tex?
We've men enough here to guarantee that. I think our trouble with Euclidia is all over. They won't have much fight left in them when they get up here.
Well, I'll shove off. You want Jerry in here?
Yes, for the present. I'll send him out to you later. He knows more of those Euclidean tricks than you do.
Right, Captain.
Well, Pat, here we are.
Yes, Tex. Here we are. And last night I thought we'd never be together again.
I'd like to do nothing but sit here and look at you. There's work to be done. First thing is to see if our friends care to enter into a little radio talk.
Well, I doubt it.
I think they will. Bradford to Euclidia. Bradford to Euclidia. Answer at once.
What will you do if they refuse, Tex?
They won't refuse.
Aliens, on Euclidia to Bradford. Euclidean transmission chamber to Gregory Boat. What is your message, Captain Bradford?
Hello, Thales. You will pass these instructions to everyone in Euclidia. This is final. Do you understand that?
Your instructions will be followed.
Then listen carefully. You will arrange for your entire colony to come aboard this boat immediately. You will leave Euclidia only through the surface airlock near this boat. Any attempt to leave by any other means will force me to release my formula and immediately flood the city of Euclidia, destroying everything in it.
What of the animals and various domestic fowl and beasts?
They will be cared for. After you are all aboard, I will arrange a guard for my crew. They will remain on Euclidia until those animals may be taken out to safety.
I understand. We are to begin evacuation of the city at once. I suppose you realize that we may leave that lock only one at a time, and that several hours will be required.
I realize all that. Start at once. We are ready to take you aboard. You, Thales, shall be the last to leave Euclidia, and your life will be the guarantee of the actions and safety of the others.
That is well. We will begin at once. Prepare to receive the first of our colony in less than 180 seconds.
Good. That is all.
180 seconds. Tex, they can be coming out of that lock in 3 minutes.
That's what Thales says, and his mistakes are few and far between.
Hey, I got it this far. I can take it in.
Now, what are you two fighting about?
Sounds like home.
Well, I got this coffee from the galley for you, Tex, and Joan here...
I wanted to bring it in to you, Captain, but Jerry would not allow it.
That wasn't very gallant, Jerry.
Well, maybe not. But Joan took the coffee to Elaine.
Say, this is mighty good, Jerry. Certainly hits a spot.
How is Elaine, Joan?
She is apparently quite well, though there was not time to make sure.
No time? No time for what?
Something happened to her?
Yeah, she went to sleep.
Well, that won't hurt her a great deal.
You know, that girl has plenty of nerve. She deserves a rest.
But she did not even have her coffee. I sent Jerry to the kitchen and...
Kitchen? I've told you 100 times, on a boat, it's the galley.
Very well, Jerry. I sent you to the galley, and before you returned with the coffee, Elaine had fallen asleep.
Well, that's all right. Sleep will do her more good anyway. But I enjoyed the coffee. A little later, I'd like some more.
Oh, sure, Tex. I'll get as much as you want. Hey, what about the Euclideans?
I just had Thales on the radio. They're coming aboard right away, and they're not going to stop to argue about it.
The Euclideans agreed to your plans without resistance?
They did.
Doesn't sound right to me.
And it wouldn't to me, Jerry, if I hadn't heard it with my own ears.
Well, I'll bet it's a trick.
I would suspect that.
No, not this time. Frankly, I expected some argument about it. But for some reason, Thales sounded absolutely hopeless.
Yes, I think you're right, Tex. All the fight has gone out of them, but why?
I don't understand it. I'm just glad of it.
Yes, Skipper?
Come. What's up?
Hurry.
What's happening, Skipper?
Euclidean.
Euclidean coming up out of the water?
Aye.
Oh, boy, come on, Joan. We've got to see
Yes,
this.
Jerry, it is very exciting.
Are the crew all lined up to run him into the hole?
Aye.
Come on, Pat. This is what we've been waiting for.
Yes, Tex, this is what we've been waiting for.
Hurry up. The first Euclidean is coming up the ladder.
The underwater city of Euclidia is being deserted. One at a time, just as fast as they can come up through the surface airlock, the Euclideans are coming aboard the Gregory boat and going to their quarters below the decks. Mrs. Gregory has chartered this small steamer, which is large enough to safely accommodate the Euclideans, and plans to take them back to the United States, where they will be placed in a scientific colony established for them there, and allowed to continue their work under guard. In the radio cabin of the boat, Mrs. Gregory and Joan have been getting weather reports in preparation for their 4,000-mile trip back to Los Angeles.
It is well along into the afternoon, Mother.
Yes, Joan, dear. Nearly 4 o'clock. That steady parade of Euclideans has been coming up over the side and going below since daylight this morning.
They look very strange, do they not? I can realize that since I have seen your world. I should not like to go back to those drab uniforms of Euclidean cloth. and that cold, hard, scientific manner of living.
That's all over now, Joan. And our adventures will soon be over. We'll live quietly at my home in Los Angeles, and you'll go to school with Jerry.
Jerry says I know too much to go to school, but I do not agree with him. I believe I should go to school, if only to learn to behave exactly as others in your world do.
Yes, that will have value to you. And the association with other young people, boys and girls near your own age, will provide a lot of fun for you.
It will seem strange, but very nice to live your life.
Hello there.
Come in, Jerry.
And will you please close the door?
Oh, sure. But I wanted to keep an eye on those Euclideans.
I'm sorry, Jerry, but I'm a little nervous. For 7 or 8 hours now, I've heard those feet shuffling past this door. Watched those shapeless uniforms and the dull, leaden faces of the Euclideans.
Yeah, well, I guess it would get kind of sort of tiresome.
Just listen a moment, Jerry.
Golly, they do get on your nerves. The sound of their shuffling feet. I'll close the door.
Oh, thanks, Jerry. That's better.
Oh, gee, Mrs. Gregory, you're all upset about this thing.
Mother is not accustomed to being in charge of a boat with 250 prisoners on board.
Oh, sure, but the danger's all over now.
I hope you're right, Jerry. But a 4,000-mile trip with a boatload of Euclideans seems to offer plenty of opportunity for trouble.
They're not going to do anything. There's no fight left in that bunch.
I feel that is correct, Jerry. Never have I seen anyone look so hopeless.
You know, I think most of them are glad it's happened. I guess they weren't any too happy on Euclidia.
That was the idea Tex and I had when we agreed to this wild plan of trying to capture 250 people and take them home on an ordinary boat.
I heard some of the leading scientists say that they would welcome the opportunity of working under better conditions.
They're an amazing crowd of people, thinking nothing but scientific advancement, willing to be taken prisoners, to live anywhere and to work anywhere, just so they're allowed to work on their inventions and discoveries.
Yeah, and I'll bet you that we'll never have a bit of trouble with them after we put them in that place you bought.
They'll have plenty of room, at least. And the buildings and equipment are good. It was a very complete little college a few years ago.
But, Mother, why should a college be forced to close? Is there no one who wants to learn?
Well, plenty of them. But they want to learn in the big colleges with the best football teams.
Football? Do they attend the higher institutions of learning to study football?
Oh, lots of them do.
But I thought football was a form of recreation, a game.
It is, Joan, dear. But football is also the magnet which draws thousands of students to the larger schools annually.
How strange.
Well, maybe. But I like it all right.
Jerry.
Want me?
Captain.
Better run along, Jerry. Tex wants to.
Okay. Hey, looks like that's about the end of the Euclidean parade.
Oh.
That was the last of them, Skipper?
Then we might go out on deck, Mother.
Not yet, Joan. Tex asked us to stay here, and we'll stay until he tells us to come out.
Oh, okay. See you later.
Oh, thank goodness that's all over.
And now, all that we have to do is sail home.
Yes, that's all. Just a little 4,000-mile trip.
It will not prove difficult, I think.
Well, we've done our part, Joan. We've got all the weather reports the land stations can give us, and it looks like fair weather all the way home.
May I come in, Mrs. Gregory?
Of course you may, Elaine. Sit down here.
Thank you. You must be very tired.
I am tired, but tired with the satisfaction of a task well performed.
And Euclideans are all aboard?
Why, yes. Yes, they're all aboard.
Elaine, has anything happened?
Nothing. The transfer has been without incident.
But you hesitated before you answered, Mother.
I am sorry. I did not mean to hesitate.
Something is wrong, Elaine? Tex? Jerry?
They are quite all right. I believe the captain suffered a disappointment, but he will tell you about it.
What sort of disappointment could it be?
If Tex wants us to wait for his explanation, we'll have to wait for it. It can't be anything very serious.
Mother, is that not the signal to start?
So soon? Yes. The engines are gathering speed, and the boat is beginning to move. Oh, we're underway.
I thought it would not be long. The captain gave orders to the 3 men who are to remain in the underwater city with the animals until another boat arrived to take them off.
Who stayed, Elaine?
2 members of your crew, and the engineer, Mr. McLeod.
Mr. McLeod will be with his pigs once more.
I'll bet Mac didn't like that job any too well.
He volunteered for it, and the captain thought an engineer should be in charge.
And after the cattle, birds, and chickens are taken out of the city,
Then it is to be flooded and destroyed.
It seems a waste of splendid effort to ruin that beautiful city. The Euclideans have spent more than 10 years building parts of it.
I know that, Elaine. But its existence would cause trouble. Trouble between nations as to who would claim it, and trouble among men for its scientific treasures.
I believe you are right, Mother. It will be better so.
Oh, Tex, it's really over?
Yes, Pat. It's all over. I hope.
You hope?
Elaine.
Yes, Captain?
I hate to ask you to do anything more until you get some rest, but you're the only one who can do this with any degree of certainty.
That is quite all right, Captain.
You go and join Jerry at the stern hatch. He'll explain what it is you have to do and report to me as soon as you finish.
Surely, Captain. Whatever it is, we will let you know the result at once.
Thanks, Elaine. And I promise you can sleep after that.
Tex, what's all this mystery?
Oh, probably nothing, Pat. I'm not sure yet.
You are worried, Captain Bradford?
Well, not exactly worried, but I'm a little disturbed about something.
Well, what is it, Tex?
G-47 has disappeared.
What? G-47?
Right.
You mean he didn't come aboard?
At least I didn't see him come aboard.
Then he's hiding down in Euclidia, and we've put off without him.
But that would be dangerous.
It would, but I don't think that's what's happened.
What else could it be, Tex?
G-47 doesn't tell all he knows to anyone. He might have a trick or two up his sleeve.
Where do you think he is, Captain?
On board this boat.
But you just said, Tex,
I said I didn't see him come aboard, and I didn't. Or at least I didn't recognize him.
But what would be his object in disguising himself?
No telling, but I've got an idea he's on board.
Wouldn't one of the other chief scientists know?
Probably, but they wouldn't talk to me. I tried to get some news out of 3 of them. Thales, Cheops, and Octavo. They merely said they didn't know where he was.
Do you think it's possible he might have hidden somewhere in Euclidia?
Yes, Mother. That is quite possible.
Oh, Tex, those 3 men you left down there. They'd be helpless in G-47's hands.
I thought of that. But for some reason, I'm not afraid of it. There's more to G-47's disappearance than a simple hiding trick.
But what could it be?
That I don't know.
Was that the errand on which you sent Jerry and Elaine?
Yes. Elaine would be able to recognize G-47 if she was looking for a disguise. And Jerry will probably say the wrong thing and make some Euclidean so angry that they'll tell him what he wants to know.
I could have helped them, Captain.
I know it, Joan, but I thought it best to keep you out of there. Some of the Euclideans may feel that you and your mother started all this trouble for them when we went searching for you long ago. I think it's just as well if you don't go down into their quarters.
I agree with you, Tex. And I think that should mean for the entire voyage.
By all means.
Very well. If you wish it.
Ahoy, the boat. McLeod to Captain Bradford. Ahoy, the boat there.
Tex, it's Mac.
Didn't take him long to get down to that Euclidean radio and figure out how to work it.
This is McLeod. Can you hear me?
Hello, Mac. This is Tex. How did you find everything?
Those men left everything in perfect condition. We'll do very nicely until you get another boat down here.
Good for you, Mac. Now remember that if anything happens, you can use that small submarine in the lower lock. I took all my solvent away from that lock. And in an emergency, get out of there with your crew and start along the course to Los Angeles.
Nothing is going to happen. We'll take care of things. And now I must get along and feed the pigs. Good luck to you all.
Good luck, Mac, and don't take any chances. Well, that's the last we'll hear from Mac in some time.
Mr. McLeod is a fine man.
He certainly is. And Mac is the only man who could go into that underground city with 2 companions and calmly set about feeding the pigs while he begins the 30-day wait.
Will it take so long to get another boat to him?
The kind of boat we'll need to take out several hundred animals and birds won't be any speedboat.
Well, here we are.
And?
Nothing.
No sign of G-47?
He is not among the Euclideans.
Then where is he?
We don't know. And I don't think the Euclideans know either.
But they must know.
I believe not.
What's it all about, Elaine?
Thales seemed willing enough to talk, and I feel that he was speaking the truth. He has absolutely no idea of G-47's whereabouts.
Well, this certainly puts us in a fine position.
Yeah, with that guy running loose in the world, well, it won't be long until another of these crazy colonies will be springing up someplace.
That is right, Jerry.
Tex, can't we do anything about it?
Apparently not. What else did Thales say?
Well, he claims that G-47 disappeared right after we left in that rocket plane.
Well, what could he use for transportation?
I can't figure it. Those submarine locks were still magnetized when we got back.
And he could not take a boat out through that small surface lock.
Not any boat we saw there. But G-47 didn't tell the rest of the scientists all his tricks. Well, I could tell from the way they acted, G-47 was just about as mysterious to them as he was to us.
Well, he's gone, and there's nothing we can do about it. At least we have the rest of his colony, and G47 is only one man. It will take him a long time to build another Magic Island or another Euclidean.
Nevertheless, Tex, I'd feel a great deal more comfortable if he were safely locked in the hole with the rest of them.
Yeah, so would I. But we can't help it.
I believe I will go to my cabin and rest, if I may.
Go to it, Elaine. You've helped a lot, and when we get home, we'll try to repay you.
I had hoped to promise you a world without any more fear of G47, but I can't promise that now.
No, Mother. I am sure we will hear from G47 again.
Now, step into the incredible, amazing future as we go exploring tomorrow. And now, here is your guide to these adventures of the mind, John Campbell, Jr.
Last night, as I was going up the stair, I met a little man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. My gosh, I wish he'd go away. I think it was Gillette Burgess who penned those immortal lines. How do you get rid of a little man who isn't there in the first place? Well, Peter Manson was a physicist, a scientist. And his trouble started with a little man who wasn't there.
Submatrix X integrated to pi over 2 plus confound.
May I come in, Mr. Manson?
Why, of course,
Thank you. Are you alone?
Yes.
Well, then she hasn't arrived yet.
I wasn't expecting anything.
Oh, I am, but if she isn't here yet, I'll have some time to explain.
Who is it?
One thing at a time, sir. Now, first, have you ever considered the problem of time travel?
Time travel? Why, that's impossible.
Oh, now don't say impossible because you invented it.
I've done nothing of the sort.
History says you did.
What history?
History says that you invented time travel machinery and applied for a United States patent on June 16, 1964.
What history? That's 6 years from now.
Ah, but not from my point of view. You see, I've used one of your own time machines to come back from your future, 50 years through my past to this date, your present. Do you understand?
You claim you have traveled 50 years through time?
I am here. That's proof.
I don't believe a word of it.
Well, look 'em over. This is your own personal notebook, 50 years later than it is now. Actually, that's the same one that's on your desk right now. Now, this is a copy of your patent. Now, these documents say I'm right. I say so. See, in my day, you are the wealthy and famous Peter Manson.
Well, do you want my autograph? You may be right, but I'm not wealthy yet.
Oh, I'm not after anything. I'm here to help you.
I don't need any help.
Do you know the first thing about your future?
Of course not.
Well, I do. I know just about everything that you're going to do in the next 50 years.
Prove it. What am I going to do next?
You are about to be introduced to the woman who will become your wife.
I already know her. We're engaged.
Oh, you mean Laura Phillips. Well, no doubt she's a nice enough girl, but she's not for you. You'll break that engagement shortly.
I'll do no such thing.
History says you did. Not will do. Did. But you...
Yes. Yes, Laura. No, Laura, not... But, Laura...
Go on, tell her now and get it over with.
You shut up. No, Laura, I didn't mean you. No. No, Laura, she's not here. No. She hung up.
Oh, wouldn't listen to you, huh? And that's your fiancée.
She wouldn't do that if I...
Is this...
Oh, Miss Carter, now we've been expecting you. Please come in.
All right, but just for a minute. No, Harry, you wait by the door, but stay close.
Now, Miss Amelia Carter, may I present...
Get that dame out of here.
Dame?
Please, now, this is hardly a way to start a lifetime.
Lifetime?
Yes, history says so. 50 years and still going when I left. Now, stop this hostility. You might as well save time, too, now. Now, start off with the first names. Amelia, this is Peter. Peter, be nice to Amelia. You really should be gracious, generous, anxious to create a good first impression.
Don't tell me how to behave.
Don't you blow a fuse, Grandpa.
Grandpa!
I am Peter Emil Manson III, your grandson.
Note that the middle name is the masculine form of Amelia, your wife, my grandmother.
Grandmother?
Yes, indeed. Your son is my father.
But I'm not married yet.
Oh, but you will be. Now, Grandpa, you sit here.
Cut this grandpa stuff right now.
Well, I'm sorry, but I've been taught that it's impolite to call my grandparents by their given names. Of course, you don't look much like the old duffer that I know as Grandpa.
Oh,
now,
Duffer,
calm down and you start making like romance. You know, you're not even engaged to Grandma yet.
Don't call me Grandma.
Pardon me, it is impertinent, but you are quite a dish. Now that I've seen you in your youth, I can understand why Grandpa threw over this Laura Phillips girl. I can hardly believe that you'll become that sweet little old lady.
Mr. Matson, what's he talking about?
He's a time traveler from the future who says he can prove that we met, got married, and...
Now, talk on any further.
I'm afraid he's right. He says it's history, and we can't change history, can we?
But I hardly know you.
Well, if you'd known each other, I wouldn't have to introduce you, would I?
Maybe somebody'd better explain this to me.
Ah, fine. Now we're off to a start. Highball, Grandmother?
Yeah, I think I need one.
Now a little more romantic setting. Soft lights now. And now I'll leave you two to canoodle a bit. I've other things.
But Harry.
I'll take care of Harry. That'll be Laura. Run high. Do something.
Oh, relax.
I'll take care of everything.
Of course, Peter Manson wasn't the only one having trouble with the little man who wasn't there. You know, the future cannot be handled logically. It's logically impossible because it doesn't exist yet. And if it doesn't exist, then obviously it isn't logical. But it's going to exist, so, well, you see what I mean. Logic is just hopeless. I should ought to clobber you.
Oh, now be reasonable, Harry. It wouldn't prove anything.
But Amelia's my girl.
Get over it, Harry. They're probably arranging their engagement right now.
You meddler.
I am not a meddler, Laura. I'm just an instrument of fate.
Fate. Poor Peter thrown to that blonde lion.
Oh, you stop calling my girl names, you hear?
You're acting like a pair of spoiled children. Now stop it. I regret that you've lost your loves, but really no one ever actually died of unrequited love.
Mine wasn't unrequited.
Well, it might as well be once they're happily married.
Happily married?
Well, you wouldn't want them unhappy, would you?
No, I'd like a little happiness myself.
Well, so would we all. But stop and think. Now, if the number of human lives depended upon your giving up a love affair, would you go on selfishly and marry the man anyway?
Well, that's hardly fair.
Well, then I'll put it up to Harry. Harry, if your own life depended upon preventing a wrong marriage, would you stand by and let them go ahead?
Make your own point. You're the meddler.
All right. My life depends upon it. My father's life depends upon it. Unless Peter Manson and Amelia Carter marry, neither my father nor I can be born. Now, knowing this, I used my grandfather's time machine, came back to give a formal introduction. Now, you can't blame me for wanting to live, so I came back and I fixed it up.
Yes, you're a great little fixer-upper.
Maybe we should ought to fix you up and then go on as we please about it.
You don't know much about time and history, do you?
No, but I could make up a...
You could not change a thing.
Why not?
If your father and mother had never met, could you have been born?
Oh, don't be utterly ridiculous.
Now, don't ever be scornful of stating a simple fact. I exist, therefore I am. Now, say it as you please. To you, Peter and Amelia will marry. To me, Peter and Amelia married 50 years ago. Now, the sensible thing to do is to accept the fact. Wipe it off the slate. Pick up the pieces and go on from there.
Such as?
Well, now, you're both very attractive people. You have a common bond of memory.
Hey, my type.
Well, I looked at better myself.
Oh, Gad, this is a primitive era. Tell folks what's best for them, and they want to... What is the term, Harry?
Clobber you.
Yes, that's right. Clobber me.
That's the best idea I've heard all night.
No, not here. Outside, where I can stop being a lady. Then I'll help you.
Well, you can beat me up, but you can't change something that's already happened. Now, can you?
Look, I've taken all I can. I'm going home.
Can I?
That is a fine practical arrangement. Find sympathy in one another. It's the better thing to do. And maybe you'll find happiness with one another, too.
Can't we get out of this, Smith?
Well, if I cut my throat, I can't invent the time machine, and then he couldn't come back and mess up our lives by forcing me to marry you.
You'd rather commit suicide than marry me.
Oh, now, Amelia, stop it. That's not so.
Oh, so you'd rather marry me than commit suicide.
Stop the bawling and let me think.
Peter, do you think he'd go away if we made it look like everything was running smooth?
What do you mean?
Well, suppose we stopped squabbling and complaining and made up to one another so he'd think we were happy and convinced that he's right. Maybe he'd be satisfied and go back where he came from. Then we could do as we please.
Won't work.
Why not?
That character is our grandson, Amelia.
Already he knows what we're going to do.
Well, aren't you even willing to try?
I'll try, but it's futile. What did you have in mind?
Well, I just know he's coming back tonight. We could make it look as if we'd been getting acquainted.
Well, what have we been doing for the past couple of hours? Playing tiddly... Hey, let go, mind that.
Just mucking me up a little. If we were really getting acquainted, we'd not look as if we'd been sitting with folded hands. Hey, stop that.
Well, if you really loved me, you wouldn't mind my mussing up your hairdo then.
All right. There. Now we look like we've been wrestling. Where's my bag?
What for?
Lipstick. You should have a few smears.
Well, with you looking like a magazine cover, lipstick is a two-way smear, right?
Oh, yeah. I suppose so.
You sound as though Harry was the only man you ever kissed.
If we ever get around to it, Peter Manson, you'll be the only man that's ever been kissed just because history said he had to be. So there? If I got it.
All right. Once for history.
Let's see you now.
You need more of the spread.
You need a touch right there. Oh, still yet.
There's one thing history didn't mention.
What, Peter?
History didn't say this could be fun.
Peter. It'd be funny, wouldn't it?
What could be funny?
Just tick lipped.
And then?
You and me found out after he'd gone that we really did like it.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Peter?
Yes?
Open up the door.
Yeah, so let him wait. Now remember to look flustered.
And try to wipe your face, too.
Well, I see everything's progressing fine. All right, now, go away. Oh, I'm not going to stay. I just wanted to see how things were getting along. I know when I'm not wanted. Then why did you come here in the first place?
Well, you think you hate me for my interference, but you wait and remember. In 50 years, the pair of you will be sending me off in my time machine to do this job of fixing up. And you, Grandma...
Stop calling me Grandma!
Still my Grandma, and you'll tell me that you and Grandpa actually wasted your first kisses trying to fool me into leaving. So now I'll trot along, but I'll be back tomorrow. And don't you keep her out too late, Grandpa.
What'd you do with Harry?
Oh, I fixed that up fine. Harry volunteered to escort Grandpa's former girlfriend to her home.
Harry and Laura?
Laura with Harry?
Peter?
Yes, Amelia.
To heck with history. Kiss me once. For me?
Oh, for goodness sake, it's 3 o'clock.
I know what time it is. But what I want to know is what you're doing.
I'm trying to think.
Yes, you look as if you've got it all settled.
Oh, what can I do?
You might wash that blonde hussy's magenta lipstick off your silly face.
Now, Laura, I can explain.
I'm listening. Convince me that you got all smeared up without enjoying it. Come on, convince me.
You went home with Harry to Beef Trust, didn't you?
Well, I didn't see anyone around making me another offer.
But I will.
I know. Working like a little beaver, making history come out right.
Well, what am I supposed to do? Bang my head against brick walls, tilt at windmills? Confound it, am I the only one around here with sense enough to know when I'm licked?
Well, you might not be so completely licked if Amelia Carter were as ugly as a mud fence.
Well, it does make my defeat less difficult to bear.
Well, make it complete, then. Have this expanded to fit her pudgy little hand.
My ring. But, Laura...
Goodbye, Peter.
Wait, don't go.
What's to stay for? To be a maid of honor?
If you came to quarrel with me, you yourself are doing everything to prove Junior's point. If he were here, he'd be cheering you into hating me and using my telephone for calling Harry to take you home.
Look, I didn't come here to fight with you, Peter. I came here to fight for you. But you're not fighting.
Junior knows all the moves. No matter what I try, everything turns out his way.
It's like your experimental smooching session.
Yeah, that too. He was amused.
I'm not. May have started as a deliberate frame-up, but it certainly ended up ginger peachy for his little old program.
I tell you, he knows every move. He came back here just to tell Amelia and me that you had gone home with Harry.
And 50 years from now, you and Amelia will dodder over to his time machine and kiss your brat of a grandson goodbye as he goes off to make the introduction. That's the program, isn't it?
And what can we do?
Peter, you say everything's fixed and solid. It can't be changed.
Well, that's the way it is.
But let's just suppose that you could quietly unfix Junior's little apple cart.
Well, then we'd go on as if he never arrived.
Well, couldn't you?
I can't prevent what's already happened. He exists. He is. He's here in the flesh.
No. I suppose you can't change that, can you?
No.
Well, then, goodbye, Peter.
Wait a minute, Laura. What if Junior were a different kind of guy?
What do you mean?
Look, Laura, he's the grandson of Amelia and me, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I don't marry Amelia, he doesn't get born. He can't exist unless we follow every move right down to the last letter of the historic record he talks about, right?
Yes, but...
Let's assume that the future is not a firm and solid hunk of recorded history.
Well, everyone but you and Junior have been saying that all along, but you keep pointing at Junior's history book and saying no.
But suppose that Junior's history book is only one of many possible histories.
Then how do you explain his solid existence?
Floating a brick on water is not impossible. It's just extremely unlikely.
Oh, stop sounding like a mathematics professor, Peter. Get to this important point.
Until Junior arrived with his books and his papers to show me, us, how we were going to act, he was rather unlikely as a future probability.
Mm-hmm.
But once he convinces us and introduces me to Amelia, Junior's existence becomes a very strong probability. In other words, he exists because he did the fixing that put history on the road that leads directly to him.
Well, you could rob a bank and get tossed in jail, and that would stop you from marrying anybody.
Well, we can't change things that drastically. But we might slip a little change in Junior's character.
How can we do that?
Suppose we could create another very strong future probability. Mightn't he come back and fight just as strong for his own existence?
But how can you do anything like that?
Laura, would you marry me right here and now?
Peter, at 3 o'clock in the morning? Peter, it's Junior again. Don't go. Oh, no.
Well, good morning. I'm in time, I see. You come in. I was hoping you would arrive. I'm the Reverend Peter Laurel Manson III. You'll notice that my middle name is the masculine form of the given name of my grandmother, Laura.
Peter, here is the other probability.
Precisely. Let's get along with it quickly before something else happens. Please, we must not be impatient. There must be witnesses. But I have prepared for everything. Everything. Will you permit me? Do come in. Oh, this is a most auspicious occasion.
Amelia!
And Harry, what are they doing here? People here appear to have forgotten that a man has 4 grandparents.
Well, I'm still a bit confused.
Oh, my dear, if I had not been prepared for this rare and happy occasion, I should be quite disturbed. It isn't often that a man has the opportunity of officiating at a double wedding ceremony uniting his grandparents. Can you make this stick? Yes. Now, unless I double-cross this double ceremony, now, Peter, take Laura's hand and stand away over here on my left. Now we all sort it out properly. Fine. History says that Peter and Laura will have a stalwart son. Hattie and Amelia will have a fine daughter. Son and daughter are my own parents.
Are you sure?
I arrived a bit late, my dear, because I have been quite a busy man. I made a stopover on my trip through time, pausing long enough to unite in marriage your son with their daughter. It was a lovely wedding.
Time goes by, woman needs man, and man must have his mate. Yet that doesn't mean you got to be stuck with any particular mate. There's freedom of choice there. See, the only way you can get rid of the little man who isn't there is to have a different little man not there. That takes care of it.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice.
And now to our story. As you remember, Clark Kent, Lois Lane, and Editor Perry White were amazed witnesses to a private demonstration of Dr. Walter Roebling's secret voice machine, a highly sensitive instrument able to pick up and magnify sounds unheard by the human ear, even the voices of those long dead. Thrilled by the demonstration, Kent, Lois, and Perry White returned to the Daily Planet building, convinced that Dr. Roebling's machine could well be used to join the countries of the world in a permanent bond of peace. But none of them was aware that even as their car left the elderly inventor's house in the suburbs, that Jack Roebling, his dishonest nephew, who had made one attempt to gain possession of the voice machine, was hiding behind a hedge, waiting for the opportune moment to break into his uncle's basement laboratory and, out of revenge, destroy the only existing working model. With him is his blonde wife, Chickie. At the moment, under cover of darkness, Jack Roebling is using a hacksaw to cut through the iron bars guarding one of the basement windows.
Can't work this blade too fast. She heats up. How's it look, Chickie?
Nobody's coming. Jack, why don't you listen to me? What'll this get you? Maybe 10 years in jail, that's all.
Who asked you?
Oh, wait a minute, Jack.
Let go my arm.
Listen to me, Jack. Just give me a chance to say a few things, and then if you want to go ahead, okay.
All right, talk fast. We haven't got all night.
Remember when you first told me about your uncle and the machine he was inventing?
Yeah, I remember. So what?
Well, you told me he was no good. You said he was out of his head. A crackpot, that's what you called him.
That's what he is.
Well, anyway, you talked me into helping you take his invention away from him. Because the way you told it belonged to you by right.
What are you driving at?
Just this, Jack. We tried to get it from him, and we were caught. He could have sent us both up for 5 years. He didn't. He turned us loose because he didn't want you to have a police record. And no guy who does that, Jack, can be so bad.
He's still a crackpot.
Well, what if he is? He never hurt you, did he?
Oh, can the chatter. I got work to do.
One more thing, Jack. You're going to cut through those bars. You're going to climb into the basement and bust up your uncle's voice machine. All I want to know is, what'll it get you?
Just what I want. Revenge and the $10 million the machine is insured for.
You haven't got a chance at the $10 million, Jack. And you know it. That means you're going to knife an old man who did you a good turn just for revenge. Well, I'm not.
What's that?
I said I'm not. I don't want any part of it.
Wait a minute. Did I hear right?
You heard perfectly. I've done some things I'm not very proud of, but this is one thing I won't do.
Oh, no?
No. So long.
Come back here.
Sorry, I'm pulling out.
Chickie, I'm warning you. Come back. Okay, you little double-crosser. This'll stop you. Where is she? I'm sure I hit her. Chickie. Chickie. That's funny. Chickie. I don't get this. Well, one thing I know. She can't take the car. I got the keys. Maybe I missed her. Okay, let her hike into town. That'll give me time to finish the job here. Guess the old man didn't hear those shots. I thought they were backfires. No time to waste now. Which window is it? Oh, here. Okay. 4 more bars to go.
Oh, come in, Kent. Close the door.
Here's the report you wanted on the demonstration of Dr. Roebling's voice machine. I don't think I left anything out.
Good. I wanted that down on paper while it was fresh in your mind. Kent, that was the most amazing thing I've ever witnessed.
Yeah.
Imagine standing in that basement room on the outskirts of Metropolis and listening to Abraham Lincoln delivering the Gettysburg Address. Oh, it's like a dream.
Yes, it certainly is.
I can't wait to break the story, Kent. It's the scoop of the century. Oh, incidentally, did you understand Dr. Roebling's explanation of how the machine works?
Well, yes, it's simple enough. You remember what Dr. Roebling said about dropping a stone into a pool of water?
Yes, it makes waves.
That's right. And so does sound. Sound waves. Dr. Roebling's theory was that these sound waves never completely disappear. That if he could develop a receiver sensitive enough to pick them up, he could recreate the sound no matter when it occurred. And he's done it.
And that's just the way I want you to write the story the moment Roebling gives us the go-ahead. Simple. You know, so everyone can understand it.
Uh-huh.
Perry White speaking. Who? Oh, hold on. It's you, Kent.
Oh, thank you. Hello? Yes, this is Clark Kent. What? A young woman. I see. Yes. All right, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Thank you.
What's the trouble? You look worried.
Well, that was the city hospital. A woman was just brought in, an emergency case. And she keeps asking for me.
That's funny.
Yeah. I better get down there. No telling what it might be.
No, I'll go with you.
Okay. Meet me at the elevator.
Dr. Talbot, report to emergency ward. Dr. Talbot, report to emergency ward.
This is the room, gentlemen, but before we go in, I'd like to tell you what we know of the case.
That's a very good idea, Doctor.
According to the police, a motorist picked this girl up on Metropolis Boulevard.
I see.
She was semi-conscious with a bad bullet wound in her back. How she ever managed to stay on her feet is a mystery. She was brought here and will be operated on within the hour. She's conscious now and keeps repeating your name, Mr. Kent.
Yes?
We have no means of identifying her and thought possibly you might supply some clue.
Oh, I'll do my best.
Good. We shall go in.
Kent. Clark Kent. Get Clark Kent.
See? I'll close
Kent.
the door.
Get Clark Kent.
I know the girl. Her name is Catherine Roebling.
Who's there? Is it Clark Kent?
You may go over to the bed.
All right. I'm here, Miss Roebling.
Oh, Mr. Kent. They found you.
Yes, I came the moment they called.
Come close. It's hard to talk, and there isn't much time.
All right.
Jack, my husband, he's trying to...
Just take it easy, Miss Roebling. Who did this to you?
Listen, this is important. Jack is trying to break into his uncle's laboratory.
What did you say?
Yes, he's sawing through the iron bars on the basement window.
What?
He wants to select the voice machine.
How do you know?
Oh, I know, believe me, I know. You've got to hurry. There isn't much time. Hurry. Let's hurry. Let's stop him. Hurry.
She just told me something that makes it necessary for me to leave at once, Doctor. I'll be back.
Emergency ward.
Wait a minute, Kent. I'll go with you.
You better not, Mr. White. This may be dangerous.
I said I'll go with you.
Okay, come on.
And you say this is the same nephew who forced Dr. Roebling to sign over all rights to the voice machine?
Yes, that girl in the hospital is his wife.
Who shot her?
She didn't say, but I think I can piece it together. Evidently, she refused to help her husband break into Dr. Roebling's laboratory to destroy the voice machine.
You mean you think her husband shot her?
I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Oh, hold on, we make a turn here.
Why, the dirty rat. Roebling should have tossed him into jail the first time.
Yeah.
Kent, I hope we're not too late. Do you know what it means if that machine's wrecked?
I know.
Roebling's an old man. He'll never live long enough to rebuild it.
Well, maybe we're not too late. There's the house up ahead. I'd better park on the driveway. Come on, Mr. White.
Where to?
Well, she said he was sawing the bars on a basement window. Now, wait a minute. Hold up. There's the window. See it with the bars missing?
Yes.
Come on. Don't touch that machine, Roebling, if you value your life. Who's there? Never mind. Don't touch that machine. I've got a gun and I'm coming to the window shooting. Get around to the front of the house, Mr. White. Find Dr. Roebling and have him call the police. Hurry!
Okay. Be careful.
I said I'm coming to the window shooting. Stand back. I think it's high time.
Superman took over.
Roebling!
Look out, mister.
Evidently you don't recognize my voice, Roebling.
I'm not kidding, mister.
Neither am I. I'm going to give you one chance to toss that gun out of the window and follow it yourself. Just one chance.
Ha! Here's what I think of you. Here's what I think of you. Here's what I think of you.
All right, you've had your chance. Now I get mine. That gun won't help you. Nothing can help you now.
You won't get me. Not until I smash this machine into 1,000 pieces.
What? I warned you about that. Now you'll suffer for it.
Ah! Let me go! Let me go!
I'll let you go into dreamland.
Mr. Kent. Mr. Kent.
I better switch back to Kent in a hurry.
Here, where are you? Down here, Mr. White. Turn on the light, Mr. Kent. Pull the cord over the table. What happened? There. You can see for yourself.
Good grief. The machine.
Your nephew smashed it. I was a split second too late.
My voice machine. It's ruined. Completely ruined. It's ruined.
Tears of sympathy form in the eyes of Clark Kent and Perry White as they watch the elderly gray-haired inventor stand before the twisted mass of steel and wires that was once a monument to his genius. Dazed and bewildered, he turns away from the wreckage, shoulders bowed and head hung low. Gently, Clark Kent touches his arm.
There may be some way of repairing it, Dr. Roebling.
No. No, it's ruined. Forever.
Is the amazing voice machine completely destroyed? Has the blind, revengeful fury of one man robbed the world of its most valuable method of communication? There are strange developments to come in this thrilling story, so follow every exciting episode. Listen in with Superman.
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine. Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice.
And now to our story. When Dr. Walter Roebling's amazing voice machine was smashed by his vengeful nephew, the elderly inventor expressed the feeling that the damage could never be repaired. The machine, a mass of twisted steel and tangled wires, had been struck a savage blow with an iron crowbar and seemed to be ruined. After Dr. Roebling's nephew had been turned over to the police and Editor Perry White had gone back to the Daily Planet office, Kent looked on in the basement laboratory of the inventor's suburban home as Dr. Roebling's trembling fingers attempted to make order out of chaos. Far into the night, he watched the intricate mechanism slowly take shape and form. The hours slipped by. The first gray light of daybreak appeared in the east. Somewhere in the house, a clock struck 5.
No, Kent, I'm afraid it's a hopeless task.
Why do you say that, Dr. Roebling?
Well, when I built the machine, Kent, I worked with a set of diagrams, but, well, I was afraid once it was finished that somehow the diagrams might fall into the hands of the wrong people, and so I destroyed them. I burned them in the fireplace. Now, as a result, everything I do must be done from memory.
I'm sure that doesn't hinder you.
My memory doesn't serve me as well as it used to, Kent. Now, this wire, for instance. I can't recall in which terminal the other end belongs.
Well, if one doesn't work, try the other.
Well, there are 9,000 connections in this machine. 9,000 chances to be wrong. No, either I'm right the first time or it's hopeless.
But, Dr. Roebling, you could...
That electric drill, please.
Oh. Here, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Just think that a split second of madness could destroy a lifetime of work. Just one split second.
Well, Doctor, does it work now?
No, Kent. No. I've checked everything a dozen times. The trouble is I don't remember. If only I could remember, but it's no use. It's no use.
But you can't give up now, Doctor. Another hour or two may bring success.
All right, Kent. I'll try just once more. Just once more.
Nine o'clock. Still no luck, Doctor?
No, Kent. I tell you, it's no use. Listen.
Dr. Roebling. Is it all right?
Wait, I'll set the direction dial to the National Cemetery at Gettysburg. Here. And the time dial to 10 a.m., November 10th, 1863. There. Now, if we pick up Lincoln's Gettysburg address the way we did this afternoon, the machine's fixed. Pray, Kent. Pray, I'm throwing the switch.
There's the murmur of the crowd.
Yes.
It works, Dr. Roebling. You fixed it. Listen to Lincoln's voice, clear as a bell.
Well, there must be a kindly providence watching over me, Kent. A very kindly providence. Do you mind if I shut it off? My head's throbbing.
No, of course not.
Now,
Kent, I don't know how to thank you for your help tonight. I was in your debt before, and now that debt can never be repaid.
Nonsense, Dr. Roebling. The mere fact that you're going to let my newspaper publish the first story about your voice machine is sufficient payment for everything. But I meant to ask you a question, Doctor.
Yes?
Something concerning the machine. Since I'm going to do the story, I'd like to know as much about it as possible. I know you're tired, but I'm sure you won't mind answering just one question.
Oh, no, of course not.
Well, you demonstrated how it was possible by setting the time and direction dials of the voice machine to pick up sound waves no matter when they were created. That is, as long as you knew the time and place, the rest was easy. Well, what I'd like to know is whether the machine, if set for, say, 7 minutes after 10, the exact time it is now, and directed to, let's say, the city of Metropolis, would automatically pick up any and all conversations taking place at this moment throughout the city?
Well, that's a very sensible question, Mr. Kent. Now, to begin with, the direction dial cannot be set for the entire city, since that covers too wide an area.
I see.
It can, however, be set for the exact center of the city.
Oh?
And you can take your chances on whatever sounds are being produced at that location at the moment. Now, here, just a minute. I'll show you.
Oh, don't bother now, Doctor. Some other time.
No, it won't take but a few seconds. Now, let's see. It's exactly 7.5 minutes after 10. There, that takes care of the time dial, and now the direction. Yeah, there. Now, something should happen when I throw the switch.
Oh, sounds like traffic noises.
Exactly what it is. We're tuned into a street corner. Wait, I'll change the direction.
What's that?
Well, I believe it's a train.
Why, you're right. We're at the railroad station.
Yeah, well, let's try again. Now, here, I'll turn the direction dial just 5 points.
All right, boys, sit down.
Here's something.
Yes, a meeting of some kind.
You must be wondering what I got you down here for at this hour of the morning.
Yeah, I hit the hay at 6 o'clock. A guy's got to sleep, don't he?
Charlie, this is serious business. You all know what happened to Benson. He got caught. They're holding him for questioning.
Hey, this sounds interesting, Dr. Roebling.
He's liable to talk, and if he does, it'll be plenty bad for all of us.
What are you going to do?
I'm coming to that. Keep your shirt on. If Benson talks, we're all in the suit, including the big guy, and he don't like the idea at all. Okay. So something's got to be done about it, fast.
What are you driving at, Duke?
Somebody's got to get Benson before he opens his trap and shut it for him. Permanent.
Did you hear that, Dr. Roebling?
Yes, but what does it mean?
Wait a minute.
One of you boys is elected. Any volunteers? I can almost see the yellow running off your spine.
Well, that's a tough job, Duke. Benson's in jail. How anyone get to him?
That's up to the lucky guy. He'll have to find a way. All right, since I figured none of you brave boys is going to step up and take the job, I rigged up another way of doing it. You see this hat? It's got 7 slips of paper in it, one for each of us. 6 of them are blank, but the 7th is marked with a black cross. The guy who gets the black cross does the job.
They're drawing lots to commit a murder.
Well, hadn't we better notify the police?
No, wait, this time. Listen.
Okay, can the chatter. I'll pass the hat around. Everybody take a slip of paper, just one. Don't open it until I say so. Take one, Lefty. Good. White. Red. Curly. Jake. Come on, Trigger. Joe. And you get the last one spot.
Dr. Roebling.
Now, before you open them, get this straight. There's no backing out. Understand? The guy who gets the black cross does the job. Go ahead, open.
I got it.
Take it easy, Curly. Now, the rest of you guys clear out. And not a word about this to anyone. Beat it.
By heaven, Mr. Kent.
Just wait a minute.
Sit down, Curly. Why did I have to get down, I said?
Yeah, I'm sitting.
Now, get a hold of yourself, Curly. Stop shaking.
All right. I ain't shaking.
Not much. Now, listen to me. If you play this smart, you're on top of the heap, see? The big guy don't forget things like this. He pays off, and good.
Yeah, but how'll I work it? Vincent's in the city jail. How'll I get to him?
It's a cinch. Wait a minute.
What's that clicking noise, Kent?
He's dialing a phone number. This is amazing, Dr. Roebling. Simply amazing. Listen.
Hello? What are you getting for fish today? Okay, Chief. Everything's all set. Yeah. I'll be there. Hello. I gotta go now, Curly. Meet me at the club in 2 hours. Yeah. Okay.
I guess that's all we're going to hear.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Might as well turn the machine off.
What do you make of it, Kent?
It's all very simple. Benson, whoever he is a marked man, despite the fact that he's in jail. We know 2 names, Duke and Curly. The rest is shrouded in mystery.
Well, you should be able to trace Benson easily enough.
Yes, that won't be difficult. He can be protected for the time being. But why are they out to get him? And who is the big guy they referred to? Oh, well, I'll take it up with the police and the district attorney. Don't you worry about it, Dr. Roebling. Just keep the direction dial set where it is. We may hear more later.
Well, it's strange, but I never realized the voice machine could be used to prevent crime.
Doctor, that machine can rebuild civilization. Wait, what's that? That sounds like a police car stopping in your driveway.
But shall we go upstairs?
Oh, I think we'd better. Wait, someone's banging on the front door. I'll see who it is. Just a minute.
Okay, buddy, get him up.
Well, this is a surprise. Do the Metropolis police point their guns at everyone this early in the morning?
Don't get wild.
What's the matter, Kent? Why are these policemen pointing guns at you?
Are you Clark Kent?
Yes.
Well, you're under arrest. What? Put the bracelets on him, Clancy.
Well, as Kent himself said only a moment ago, this is a surprise. What possible reason can there be for arresting the Daily Planet reporter? Is it at all likely that the strange turn of events is somehow connected with what Kent and Dr. Roebling just heard over the voice machine? Whatever it is, it's bound to be exciting. So don't fail to be with us next time. Listen in with Superman.
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal, invites you to rocket into the future with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet.
Stand by to raise ship. Blast off -5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
As roaring rockets blast off to distant planets and far-flung stars, we take you to the age of the conquest of space with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. As a warm spring sun beats down on the campus of Space Academy, the cadets of the Polaris unit, Tom Corbett, Roger Manning, and Astro, lug their heavy space gear across the grassy quadrangle and step on the broad slidewalk, heading for the Academy spaceport. As they ride, Tom reminds his unit mates of a previous mission with the same commanding officer, Major Blastoff Connell.
Look, fellas, after the hard time Major Connell gave us on the last mission out to Pluto, let's see if we can't really be on the ball for this one.
Okay by me, Tom.
It won't do any good.
You won't know till you try, Roger. What's the matter? Afraid of a little work?
Listen, you Venusian clunk, I'll work circles around you any day in the week, and that includes... Okay, save that energy for the Polaris, Roger.
Yeah, use some of that hot air to shine brass.
Well, there's the ship. Let's get aboard and have everything shipshape for Major Connell. This is one mission when the Polaris crew is coming back with a clean record. Polaris unit reporting, sir.
Well, back to your old tricks again, I see.
Tricks, sir?
I thought after our last flight the Polaris unit had pulled itself together. But I see it's the same erratic, undependable...
Well, is there something wrong, sir?
No, nothing serious, Corbett. Just a minor detail. About what I'd expect from the Polaris unit. Who has the orders for this mission?
Well, I have a copy of them, sir.
Will you read the orders aloud, Manning, just for the record?
Yes, sir. 6 May 2352. Order 35876. Polaris unit will report to Academy Spaceport at 1400 hours with full space gear and place themselves under command of Major Connell. Mission, space test of new long-range transmission beam. Destination, Tara, planet and system of Alpha Centauri. Spaceship to be used, the Annie Jones.
Oh, murder. Does this ship look like the Annie Jones? Well, does it?
No, sir.
Just a minor detail you overlooked, no doubt, and a detail that will cost you each 20 demerits. Now haul your gear out of here and see if you can find the Annie Jones. That is, if you can tell the difference between a cruiser and a space freighter. Unit dismissed.
I don't get it. Why do we always wind up with Connell when we've got a long flight ahead of us? First it was Pluto and now Tara. 25 billion miles out into deep space, and he has to be the boss. Oh, cheer up, Roger. There'll be 2 other spacemen on the crew. Connell will have to share his bad temper with them. Well, if they're smart, those guys will be dead. Who are they, anyhow? Oh, I don't know their names. A couple of men who were on the first exploratory expedition to Tara.
You know, whether we like the company or not, this is going to be an important flight. If we can get this long-range transmission beam to work, it'll be the first big step to establishing a colony out there.
Fine, and all I hope is they make Connell a CO. Well, here's the Annie Jones. Come on, let's climb aboard.
You sure this is the Annie Jones now?
Of course. Climb into the airlock. Come on, Astro. Hey, Astro.
Oh, sorry, Tom.
What's the matter? What are you looking at?
Oh, I thought I saw somebody hanging around that port stabilizer fin.
Don't see anyone.
I guess I was wrong. Well, let's go. And heaven help us stay on the right side of Major Connell from now on.
You can say that again, Astro.
You space-happy jerk. Did you have to show yourself like that? You almost quit the whole deal.
I'm sorry, Thurston. I thought those were the guys we're waiting for.
Well, those were the cadets. We want the 2 enlisted spacemen.
Yeah, I know, but listen. Are you sure this thing is going to work?
We're going to make it work. I'm not letting a hunk of copper like that slip out of my fingers.
But are you sure the satellite is really copper?
For the last time, Louis, I had that sample tested. The satellite around Tara is almost 3/4 solid copper. And right now, with no deposit on Earth, Mars, or Venus big enough to wire a magnoscope, it's worth more than plutonium. We'll be rich enough to retire on the dough we'll get from the first load.
I still think we ought to charter a ship and get it legitimate.
To charter a ship costs money, and we ain't got a single credit between us. Besides, this guy Connell and his space cadets might find the copper moon and claim it for the Solar Alliance, and then where'd we be?
Oh, I don't know.
We found that moon when we were out there with the expedition, and we're keeping it.
Okay.
Hey, here come those 2 spacemen. The rest of the crew. You ready?
Yeah, all set.
Quiet now. Get 'em!
Okay, Thurston, they're out cold.
All right, drag 'em behind that supply truck and grab their space gear. From here in, we're assigned to the crew of the Annie Jones, and when we get to Tara, we'll be richer 1 copper satellite. We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment. So stand by.
Here's a special communication from Tom Corbett, Space Cadet. Yes, spaceman, here is Tom Corbett to give you an important message about building yourself up to be strong and vigorous. Come in, Tom Corbett.
Corbett here. Now listen, spaceman. In any assignment a space cadet takes on, he's expected to do his very best. That's why space cadets demand the foods that help them the most. Foods that power them up for hard work. Kellogg's Pep is one of those foods. And besides being a builder-upper, Pep is a great tasting cereal, too. You don't have to take my word for it. Make it your Space Cadet assignment starting tomorrow morning. Eat Pep. Eat Pep every morning. You'll like that flavor. A whole wheat and malt flavor you can really taste. And when you get up from that breakfast table, you'll have a good supply of vitamin D, vitamin B1, and other important food values. The kind of food values you need to get out there and do a job any Space Cadet would be proud of. Let's make a deal, spaceman. We'll both eat Kellogg's Pep every morning. And we'll both keep ourselves ready for action every minute.
Right, Tom Corbett. And say, spaceman, start your day the spaceman's way with a man-sized bowl full of Kellogg's Pep.
P-E-P. Pep.
Blasting through space in the long-range freighter Annie Jones under the command of Major Connell, Tom, Roger, and Astro are bound for the planet Tara in the system of Alpha Centauri to test a new long-range transmission beam. Already off on the wrong foot with the harsh commanding officer, the boys are unaware that they face more trouble from the two enlisted spacemen in the crew.
Thurston, I still think this job is awful risky.
Nobody's asking you to think. We got to get rid of the cadets and Major Connell, and then the copper satellite is all ours.
Yes, and how do we get rid of them? It's 4 against 2. And those kids aren't babes in arms.
You let me worry about that. We're going to start cutting down the odds right now.
Corbett. Cadet Corbett.
Aye, Major Connell.
Corbett. You know the rules governing all entries made in the logbook.
Yes, sir.
It states that under no circumstances are any entries to be erased. But I find 2 lines here in your watch report have been erased.
Erased?
And on top of that, the wrong course rewritten in its place.
But I never...
Is that your signature?
Yes,
That'll
sir.
cost you 10 demerits, Corbett. And for every act of negligence aboard this craft, there'll be 10 more. And 10 more. Clear, Corbett?
Clear, sir.
Thurston. Yes, sir. Check through the log for more erasures, and I hope for your sake, Corbett, there aren't any. Attention, power deck check-in.
Power deck, aye. Cadet Astro here.
Stand by for course change of 4 degrees starboard at my command.
Aye, sir. 4 degrees starboard. Ready on steering rockets.
Fire.
Major Connell, we're swinging 10, 12, 14 degrees.
Power deck. I said 4 degrees, not 14.
Something went wrong, sir. The energy induction valve was wide open.
Something went wrong, eh? We were in close formation, Cadet Astro. Do you know what would happen?
Yes, sir.
No buts. This is just another example of this unit's cockiness. That little mistake will cost you 20 demerits, Cadet Astro. Keep it up, and by the time we get back to Space Academy, the only power deck you'll handle will be on a kiddie car. And just in case you ever do have a kiddie car, you'll spend 4 extra hours a day off watch making rounds with Lewis. Maybe you can learn something from a real spaceman.
Well, blast my jets. Look who's got all the demerits, and yours truly, Roger Manning, just goes about his work.
Why, you stargazing squirt, I tell you something happened to that valve.
Yeah, and I suppose Tom didn't erase that stuff in the logbook.
No, I didn't, Roger.
Stop beefing. A few demerits and you're crying.
Manning, where are you?
Uh-oh, and transmission, fellas. Right here, Major. What's up?
Suppose you tell me. Check your space position.
Sure thing. Here you are, sir. Chart K, Section 63. We're right here.
Look again, Manning. I think you'll find it Chart M, Section 67.
Chart M, sir?
Chart M, Manning. Check your dead reckoning again.
Well, yes, sir. Hey, wait a minute. You're right, sir. It is Chart M, but how could that be?
It's simple, Manning. You made a mistake.
But I checked these figures 3 times, sir.
You made a mistake, Manning.
Well, yes, sir, I see it's wrong, sir, but I didn't do it,
Cadet
sir.
Manning, you admit there was an error?
Yes, sir, but
you are the astrogator on this ship, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
I don't mind if a man makes a mistake. A human error can be understood and excused. But I cannot excuse a man who commits an error and then tries to wriggle out of it. It seems all I ever get from the Polaris unit is excuses.
Well,
I'm relieving you from duty, Manning, as an example of negligence. Return to your quarters. Thurston, check in.
Thurston here, sir.
You're assigned to the radar deck for the remainder of the trip.
Yes, sir.
Now, maybe I can relax with this ship in the hands of real spacemen.
There it is, Lewis. Second in command. Recorded in the logbook, all nice and legal as far as the cadets are concerned. My idea worked like a charm.
Yep. Planning all those mistakes on the kids and then denying it. Oh, boy, that was just like pouring oil on a fire. Connell just got hotter and hotter and hotter.
So now if anything happens to Connell, I take over the ship and no questions.
I'd feel a lot safer if we got rid of that space bum right away. Suppose he gets wise. And that Corbett is a smart kid, too.
Yeah, too smart. You're right about Connell. We got to get rid of him fast.
The thing is, how do we do it? The ray guns are all locked up.
Leave it to me. I'm going to make our tough skipper take a swim out in space. And I'll use Corbett as bait.
Now, what's so funny?
I'm just thinking, Lewis. I might get down in history as the first guy in the universe to catch 2 space fish on one hook.
Tom, that error on the radar deck was in simple arithmetic. I couldn't make that mistake if I wanted to because I use a calculator on all problems.
Right. And the first thing I learned was not to erase the logbook. And you, Astro, why, you couldn't turn the wrong valve if you wanted to.
All right, then. What's the answer?
Well, I don't know, but I've got my ideas. Thurston and Lewis.
Come to think of it, they're the ones who profited by all this.
And if Tom's right, it's still going to be tough to prove with Thurston second in command.
You think it would do any good to talk to the Major?
I don't know, Astro, but I can try. All he can do is give me a few demerits, and the way I'm going, what's 10 or 20 more?
All right, Thurston. What is it?
I'm going outside to check the radar antenna. I wondered if Corbett here might want to come along.
Come along? Why?
Well, to learn something, of course. But if you'd rather not.
Good idea, Thurston. A little refresher is good now and then.
But I just finished a 6-week refresher course at the Academy, Major.
Of all the lazy, stupid, short-sighted rocket wash. Get into a spacesuit on the double and go with Thurston. That's an order.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's not so bad, Corbett. I can teach you a lot out there. Be the best lesson you ever had. There's the antenna up forward, Corbett. You go ahead and I'll follow you.
Okay, Thurston.
Why so slow? I don't want to be out here all day. Why do you keep looking back at me?
Just making sure everything's all right, Thurston.
Oh, yeah, huh? Well, everything will be soon.
Hey, what are you trying to do? Let go of me. My oxygen valve. Let go.
Yeah. Oh. That's it, Corbett. Have a nice long sleep for yourself. Attention. Emergency. Major Connell. Something's happened to Corbett. His oxygen supply is blocked. I need another bottle right away.
Stand by, Thurston. Do what you can. I'll be right out.
Better hurry, sir. There isn't much time.
That's it. Breathe deeply, Corbett. You'll be all right. Last kid, why didn't Thurston just turn your valve on when he saw you weren't getting oxygen?
Thurston, he turned the valve off.
What?
Yes, sir. Where is he?
He went back into the ship to get a respirator.
He what?
Corbett, what are you doing? Come back here.
Major, the airlock, I can't open it. Thurston locked it from the inside.
What? Thurston! Thurston! Check in or by the stars I'll put you in irons.
You're not putting anyone in irons, Connell. You're finished. I'm taking over the ship.
What, you rotten space crawler? I'll tear you apart.
Go on, keep blasting, Connell. That's all you can do now. Don't expect Manning or Astro to help you. They're fast asleep. A little narco-sleeping gas in the oxygen circulating system, and they never knew what hit them. When we get to Tara, we wake them up and tell them you and Corbett had an accident.
Now listen, Thurston.
Better save your breath, Connell. You've only got 4 hours of oxygen in your bottles. So you'd better take a good look at the stars. They'll be the last thing you ever see.
We'll return to the exciting adventures of Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, in just a moment. So stand by. Spaceman, Kellogg's Pep, the cereal that brings you these exciting Space Cadet adventures, now gives you a chance to collect detailed picture cutouts of your favorite Space Cadets. Right now at your grocery store, each and every regular-sized package of Kellogg's Pep has a special Space Cadet picture cutout right on the back of the package. All you have to do is cut it out and set it up in your own Space Cadet setting.
You can get a picture of Astro, Tom Corbett, or Roger Manning in a spacesuit. Dr. Joan Dale in the official Space Academy dress uniform. You want to get all 4 Space Cadet picture cutouts, and it's easy to do. Nothing to mail, no box tops to send in. Your picture comes right on the back of every regular-sized package of Kellogg's Pep. And that's not all. Right inside that package of Kellogg's Pep, you're going to find the best-tasting wheat cereal you ever poured into your cereal bowl. Just heat those golden flakes up high. Cover them over with milk and sugar. Boy, when you taste a spoonful of that delicious whole wheat and malt flavor, well, you'll call for second helpings right on the spot. So don't forget, ask Mom to get Kellogg's Pep as soon as you can. For a swell build-up cereal with Space Cadet picture cutouts on the back of every package, it's Kellogg's Pep. P-E-P. Pep.
Left to die of suffocation, locked outside the Annie Jones, Tom and Major Connell worked desperately on a plan to save not only their own lives, but the lives of Astro and Roger, who have been drugged with a sleeping gas.
Lucky for us, Thurston left this other oxygen bottle outside, Major.
Yeah, if we can damage the steering vane enough, it'll jam the control to make those rats come out to fix it.
Just a little more, sir.
And I think we might have it. Here, let me try a while, Corbett.
Yes, sir. A little more, sir. And that'll do it.
Hammer out here on the edge.
That's it, sir. Steering vane's jammed.
This will start the ship drifting off course. Thurston and Lewis will be scanning the hull to see what's going on. And we've got to make them think we're either dead or too weak to resist.
But how, sir?
Now, you lie down on the hull. I'm going to shove off into space.
Hey, Major, they're coming out already.
Quick, now. I haven't time to explain. Keep their attention drawn from me. Or we'll wind up drifting with 10 million of the most unfriendly stars I've ever seen.
Imagine those guys busting that steering vane with that oxygen bottle.
Not a good at them, Thurston. I saw one of them through the airlock viewport, drifting away. Almost 4 hours, so I guess the other one is done for now.
Yeah, but I hope that vane ain't busted too bad.
Well, if it is, we get Astro to fix it.
Good idea. Okay, pressure equalized. Now open up the outer hatch and climb out.
Hey, there's one of them down by the stern of the ship. I think it's Corbett.
Yeah, looks like he's passed out. But you better stay here by the airlock just in case.
Okay.
I'll go over and take a look.
Well, hello, Thurston. Come to look over the steering vane?
You're...
Yes, still alive, no thanks to you. They'll get you, Thurston, for mutiny, piracy, and attempted murder. The Solar Guard will
make me laugh. When I get back, I'll have enough credits to buy the Solar Guard. Now, you're going for a long swim in space, and I'll make it easy for you. A blast from this parallel ray. So when the oxygen gives out, you won't feel a thing.
So by trying to keep it a secret, Thurston and Lewis lost everything. Thurston confessed they wanted to keep the discovery of the copper satellite to themselves, and the first step was taking over the ship.
But I still don't understand what happened outside the ship, Major.
Well, Roger, when the Major shoved off into space, I was supposed to act as decoy for the skipper to sneak up behind them.
But how did the skipper get back to the ship?
With the oxygen bottle, Astro. He waited for me to get Thurston and Lewis's attention, and then used the bottle like a jet to push him back. He came up behind Lewis and hit him with a bottle.
I must have cracked his helmet. I couldn't save him.
Well, what were you doing all this time, Tom?
I'll tell you what he was doing. He was protecting me.
Protecting you?
That's right, Manning. To keep Thurston's and Lewis's attention, Tom took a parallel rate charge as calmly as if he were listening to a lecture at the Space Academy.
Well, I'll be a stargazing lunatic.
And speaking of Space Academy, it's going to be a long time before we get back. I've received orders from Commander Arkwright to bring the copper back with us. So you'd better get a lot of sleep. We've got a big job ahead of us.
Sleep? After a round with that narco gas, I want to stay awake for 6 months.
Well, blast my jets. Now I've heard everything. Manning passing up sack time.
Oh, rack it off, you Venusian hillbilly.
Listen, you skinny space
Hey,
jerk.
fellas, take it easy. The Major.
Never mind, Corbett. Let them blast. It shows everything's back to normal again. Thank the universe.
miss the next action-packed adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, on Thursday, when the crew of the Polaris lands on the copper satellite and begins the overwhelming task of sending it blasting back to Earth in Part 2 of Danger in Deep Space. Tune in, same time, same station on Thursday for the next thrilling interplanetary adventure with Tom Corbett, Space Cadet.
Brought to you by Kellogg's Pep, the build-up wheat cereal.
Tom Corbett, Space Cadet, starring Frankie Thomas, can also be seen on television and appears in the comic sections of many of America's leading newspapers. Look for it daily and in weekend editions. Featured in the cast were Al Markham, Jan Merlin, and Andy Donnelly. Today's program was written by Richard Jessup and directed by Drex Hines. Jackson Begg speaking.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret. Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret. And what a secret! In Kellogg's Raisin Bran, the tasty raisins are dipped in honeycomb. That means plumper, more tender raisins along with delicious golden crisp bran flakes. Both fruit and cereal, all in one box. And no other raisin bran but Kellogg's gives you the tender goodness of raisins dipped in honeycomb. That's Kellogg's secret. So for your breakfast, make sure you get Kellogg's, because
Kellogg's Raisin Bran has a secret.
This program came to you from New York. America is sold on ABC, the American Broadcasting.
You, finding life rather dull, dreaming again of exotic places, wishing you were somewhere else? We offer you Escape. Escape with us now to the outer limits of space and the terrifying experiences of four men who penetrated it, as Ray Bradbury, famous science fiction writer, tells it in his gripping story, The Earthman.
You ready, Clitheroe? Yes. Communication number 1. Mission accomplished. Yes. We better make sure you pause after that. Give them a few seconds to get over their excitement down there. They'll go crazy. Be bigger than New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve? Be bigger than the armistice. Only one celebration will top it in our lifetime. What's that? The one they throw when we get back. All right, now where was I? Mission accomplished. Yeah. First rocket expedition to Mars landed upon Mars 12:03 Earth time. Estimated position of landing, approximately longitude 345 degrees, latitude -7 degrees. Okay. Landed without incident at edge of forest. Atmosphere, what's a good word to say it's all right for breathing? Optimal? Yeah. Found atmosphere optimal. Descended from rocket.
Captain Williams.
Yeah?
Prescott, sir. I see Prescott. He's running this way.
Running? Something after him?
No, he's just loping along. I think he's smiling.
Keep your binoculars on him. Sound off. It looks like he's in trouble. Descended from rocket. Sent Lieutenant Prescott on reconnaissance mission. Dugan, Prescott all right?
Yes, sir. Want me to yell to him?
No, just stay up there and watch it. Morale high. Commend efficiency and discipline of the entire crew. Lieutenants Prescott and Dugan, Sergeant Clitheroe. Thanks, Captain. There's enough glory for all, Sergeant. Any chance of sending that in now? Not for 2 hours. Channels won't be clear for voice communication until 3 o'clock Earth time. They don't even know yet that we made it. I'd like to be down there when they get that message. What excitement. Sirens, bands playing, artillery salute.
Here's Prescott, sir.
Good. Come on down, Dugan. Prescott, you all right? People. Here, sit down. Catch your breath.
People.
Mars has people.
All right, now take your time. You want a drink?
Mars is inhabited. People, just like home.
Any women? Let him talk. What sort of people?
Ordinary-looking people, men, women, kids.
Hostile?
I don't think so. I came down a road, a country road, followed it to the right angle into a paved highway.
Yeah.
Before I could decide whether to go right or left, I heard a buzzing sort of sound. I ducked behind a bush. Vehicle rolled past. One wheel must have a gyroscopic balancer of some sort.
Yeah.
Inside was a man and a woman.
What did they look like?
Just like us. Hair, eyes, nose, mouth, body, clothes, everything.
Mars inhabited. Wait till they hear that down there.
After it passed, I followed it. I came to a hill. When I got to the top, there it was, a little town. Buildings, streets, just like home. And then I hurried back here.
People. And just like home, huh?
Yeah.
You suppose they're really friendly? Well, I don't see why not. You heard what he said? Civilization up here resembles the one down there. What would they do on Earth if Martians came down and established contact? It'd make a pretty big thing out of it. The people up here will probably treat us the same way. Even so, we're not going to take any chances. We'll be armed.
We're going into town?
Right. As soon as we camouflage the rocket. All right, start cutting some of those branches and gathering leaves. Cover it up good. I don't want anybody monkeying around while we're gone.
Right.
We can't be gone long, Captain. Channel's open at 3. We'll be back by then, if everything goes well. Oh, can you imagine their reaction when they see us? Come on, men, make it fast! All right, men, dress it up. I'm going to knock on the door now, and keep smiling to show we're friendly, and let me do all the talking. Understand? Yes. Yes, what do you want? You speak English. I speak what I speak. What do you want? Martian speaks English. We're from Earth. I'm Captain Williams, commander of the first expedition to Mars. And you are the first Martian we've met. Martian? What I mean to say is you live on the 4th planet from the sun, correct? Well, everybody knows that. Well, we're from Earth. Where? It's never been done before. What has it? How is it you speak such good English? I'm not speaking, I'm thinking. Telepathy. Now, what is it you want? We're from Earth. From Earth. Some other time, Mac. I got my own problems. How do you like that? You didn't look very bright. I know, but... Well, try it again. Knock on the door. I'm in command here, Dugan. I'll do all the thinking. Yes, sir. I'll knock on the door and try it again.
Yes?
Oh, excuse me, ma'am. Was that your husband I was just talking to?
Yes.
He shut the door so quick I never got a chance to explain.
Oh, I'm sorry, but he is busy. Can I help you? Are you strangers in town?
I'll say we are. We're from Earth.
Earth?
The planet Earth. Maybe you have a different name for it. The 3rd in order from the sun. We came in a rocket. Almost 60 million miles through
Don't come
space.
near me.
I just want if you can. You and your husband are the first people on this planet we've
Don't
seen.
come near me.
You don't understand. We're from Earth. We came in a rocket. We came in a rocket. What'd I do?
Captain, don't you think we'd better get away from here, maybe?
Well, all I did was... How far is it to town, Prescott?
Quarter of a mile.
I just wanted to shake hands. What was it that scared her?
All right for us to smoke, Captain?
Sure, smoke, yell, unbutton your buttons, do whatever you want. Doesn't seem to make any difference. Nobody's paying any attention to us anyhow. You'd think these people had visitors from Earth every day. Nobody even turns around to look at us.
Can I say something, Captain?
Yeah?
We can't blame them for ignoring us, sir. We look just the same as they do. For all they know, we're just a few Martians ambling through the town square. We ought to take a chance and try telling someone else.
We've told 3 of them already. Back at that farmhouse, the man ignored us and the woman screamed and ran away. And that girl we told fainted.
But, Captain, Looks like a bar or a soda fountain in here. Would it be all right if we went in and had something to drink?
Well, why not? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Could we get something to drink here?
Got some nice fruit, Crystal. It's all right. The same for everyone.
Sergeant.
I don't think I've ever seen you fellows around. You strangers?
We're from Earth.
Where?
Earth. Third planet from the sun.
Oh, clumsy of me. Earth, huh? Well, what do you know?
You mean you understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Sure.
That we're the first men from Earth ever to reach Mars, that it's never been done before?
That we came 60 million miles in a rocket? Sure. 60 million, huh? Rocket, you say? Well, I'm proud to make your acquaintance.
I'm Captain Williams. This is Lieutenant Prescott, Sergeant Clitheroe, and Lieutenant Dugan.
I'm honored. I'm honored. Do you mind if I bring my son in to meet you? This is an occasion.
Sure. Bring him in.
Son, come in here. Rocket, eh? All the way by rocket. Say now.
You understand what we went through, the chances we took.
Sure. Why, you're real heroes. Let me shake hands again.
You call me, Pop?
Son, these men are from Earth. From Earth. Understand?
Yes, Pop.
We're the first men from Earth ever to reach Mars.
Isn't that wonderful, son? Think of it.
It's wonderful.
Go tell everyone. You don't mind if he tells people, do you?
Mine. I should say not.
Oh, we'd like him to.
As many as possible.
Go ahead, son. Hurry. Think of it, all the way from Earth.
There were times in there when I didn't think we'd make it, I can tell you.
Hey, I'll bet there were.
Turbine conked out when we hit the stratosphere. I began to sweat a big drop.
I can imagine. Turbine, it's pretty serious.
Even before we left, we were told we only had about 1 chance in 3 of making it.
Hey, I don't see where you found the courage.
We didn't even know what we'd find when we got here. You see, it's never been done before. Never.
Let me shake your hand again.
Lots of men were killed trying, but they never succeeded.
What an honor for our little town.
You're the first to know, really. The very first.
Oh?
Your name will go down in history of all the school books with ours.
There are monuments on both planets.
Hey, what is your name? Hey, wait a minute. Hold on.
What's up, Skipper?
Outside. All those people. Looks like the whole town.
Why, they must have heard the news, the glorious news for my son. Yes, they've come to welcome you.
Hey, hold your fire, men. Welcome us. It doesn't sound like they'd come to welcome us.
What? That's the man we first spoke to, the one whose wife got scared.
Gentlemen, please don't shoot. There must be some mistake. I'll just ask them why they're behaving in such a...
Here, come back here. Come back here, you old... Come back here. What do you make of that?
Captain, I don't understand this, and I don't like it.
Do the back way out. See if it's clear. Prescott, you fire when I say fire. Not before. Lower your gun.
They're all around us, Captain.
We'll make a break for it. 1 volley at my command.
Captain Williams.
Yeah?
Look, there's a little guy out there giving them all what for. They're starting to disperse.
Let me see.
Clear this square immediately. Immediately, I say. Go on now. Go on, all of you. Go on home.
He's coming in. Now, I'll do all the talking. Put your guns away, but stay on your toes. Dugan, let's keep our eye on the back, huh?
Gentlemen, may I apologize for the unforgivable actions of my fellow townspeople. They've acted barbarously.
We didn't do a thing. We were as friendly as we could be.
But they're ignorant, just ignorant. No reverence for science, none whatever.
We're from Earth. Did they tell you?
Oh, yes. A great honor, sir. This is without a doubt the most memorable moment of my life. As a man of science, I greet you.
What have we done to make them so hostile?
Oh, no, please, put it out of your thoughts. They're adults, idiots. Simply because 2 women were stupid enough to be frightened. Even my apologies, my sincere apologies. Believe me, sir, I would never have forgiven them if they had harmed so much as a hair of your head. A scientific marvel, and they would do you harm. Unforgivable. Well, we're wasting time. The members of the Institute are waiting.
Institute?
The Institute of Science. We have sole jurisdiction in such matters. The members have already been informed and are eagerly awaiting your appearance. It will cause a sensation.
Well, that's a little more like it.
This way, if you please. I have transportation waiting. And have no fear of these rustics. You're in my care now.
I'm Captain Williams, sir. Who are you?
I'm president of the Institute. My name is Dr. Booth. This way, gentlemen. This way.
Escape under the direction of Norman MacDonald returns in just a moment. How the gambling machine works, the far-reaching effect of legal and illegal gambling, domination of entire areas by racketeers. That's this week's topic on The Nation's Nightmare, tomorrow night on CBS. And now, back to Escape.
I won't make a speech, you understand, just a few informal remarks.
The members of the Institute will listen to you with the greatest interest, no matter how informal your remarks. Go right in and make yourself at home.
Thank you, Doctor. I'll keep it short. We have to be back at our rocket by 3 o'clock our time in order to...
To communicate with Earth, yes. You told me, yes. Go right in. I'll join you very soon.
Thank you. After you, men.
He's a nice fellow.
Wow. What an auditorium.
Hey, must be hundreds of people here. I wonder how they managed to get them together at such short notice.
Straighten up, men. They're looking at us. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I am Mr. Earl.
And I'm Captain Jonathan Williams of New York City, on Earth. Thank you, one and all, on behalf of myself and my crew. Thank you.
Well, it's good to see another man from Earth. I am from Earth also.
How was that again?
There are many of us here from Earth.
You from Earth?
Yes.
But is that possible? Did you come by rocket? Has space travel been going on for centuries? What country are you from?
Tuirio. I came by the spirit of my body years ago.
Tuirio? I never heard of it. What was that about the spirit of your body?
What do you mean there are many of us here from Earth?
Not only from Earth. He's from Jupiter. He's from Saturn.
Jupiter? Saturn? Wait a minute, this is confusing. Where on Earth is this Tuirio?
Tuirio?
Is it near America?
America? What is America?
You never heard of America?
No.
You say you're from Earth and you never heard of America?
Earth is a place of seas and nothing but seas. There is no land. I am from Earth and I know.
Earth is a place of all jungle. I am from Orion Earth, a civilization built of silver.
Silver? Men, come over here a second. Do you realize what this is?
What, sir?
This is no celebration. These aren't members of the Institute. This isn't a banquet or a surprise party. Huh? Look at their eyes. Listen to them. Now I understand why the woman screamed, why the girl fainted, why the old boy in the soda fountain ran out on us, why the crowd was hostile, why they brought us here.
Oh, where are we, sir?
In an insane asylum. They think we're crazy. Clitheroe, try the door again.
I just tried it, Captain. It's still locked. Go right in, gentlemen. The members of the Institute will listen to you with the greatest interest, no matter how informal your remarks. I'll bet they've been listening, all right. I'll bet they've had us under observation ever since we entered this building.
Captain, look.
What?
You ought to take a look. That woman who said she was from Earth, too. Blue flame is coming out of her mouth, and then turning into the shape of a small naked child.
You think that's something? I've been watching one of them change into a crystal pillar, and then into a golden statue, and then into a staff of cedar, and then back into a woman again. Never saw anything like that. Magicians.
No, not magicians. Those are hallucinations. They pass their insanity over into us, and we see their hallucinations too. Telepathy, autosuggestion, and telepathy.
Well, look, Captain.
If hallucinations can appear this real to us, to anyone, if hallucinations are catching and almost believable, it's no wonder they took us for psychotics. If that woman can produce little blue-fire children, and that one can change into a pillar, how natural if normal Martians think we can produce our rocket ship with our minds.
I've been thinking along those lines, too. If someone came up to you on Earth and said he was from Mars, just came in by rocket, wouldn't you think he was crazy?
I would. Heaven help me, I would. What time is it?
2:35. Those channels open in 25 minutes.
Where's that doctor? Where's that doctor? I said, where's that doctor?
I'm here, Captain.
I demand our release. I demand an apology for this outrage. My government will certainly hear of this. All the governments of Earth will hear of it. I shall tell them of the indignities heaped upon their representatives.
Yes, of course.
Don't humor me! Are you going to release us, or must I take steps?
What sort of steps?
I'll kill you.
That's very interesting. Excuse me a moment. Dr. O.
Yes, Doctor. Did you call me, Doctor?
The case is developing along classic lines. I thought you might be interested. He's just threatened to kill me. Proceed, please, Captain.
I wasn't joking, I tell you. Are you going to stand aside?
No.
All right. Jan.
Most interesting. What do you suppose the next phase will be?
Denial of insanity, reaffirmation of sanity.
But we are sane. We are.
You see? Classic.
Men try to think of something. He thinks we're insane, and he won't understand that we're not.
No, not at all. I do not think all of you are insane. Oh, no. Just you, sir. The others, the ones you persist in referring to as your crew, they do not exist. They are secondary hallucinations.
Secondary?
Hallucinations.
But you can touch them. You can hear them. Go ahead and touch them.
They prove nothing. My patients have come to me with snakes crawling from their ears. When I cured them, their snakes vanished.
We'll be glad to be cured. Go ahead.
It's unusual. Not many want to be cured. The cure is drastic, you know.
Cure ahead. I'm confident you'll find we're all safe.
He persists in referring to the others.
Oh, they never stop. You know, Captain, such cases as yours need special treatment. The others in this hall are simpler forms, but once a patient has deteriorated as much as you have with primary, secondary, tertiary, auditory, olfactory, and lingual delusions, as well as tactile and optical fantasies, it's a pretty bad business. We may have to resort to euthanasia.
Euthanasia? You're crazy! Now, listen. My crew and I left Earth 3 days ago in a rocket. We landed here in Mars.
Yes, you've already told me, Captain. Most detailed dream fantasy I've ever heard.
But I can show you the rocket ship.
I'd like to see it. Can you manifest it in this hall?
No, certainly. It's over there in the corner.
I don't see it.
Of course you don't. It's not there.
Why did you tell me to look if the rocket isn't there?
I was joking, you idiot. Joking.
Really? You have an odd sense of humor.
If you give us transportation and come with us, I can show you the rocket. It's in a small forest near that town where we first saw you.
It'd be rather interesting to observe his reaction at the failure to show it to us.
Yes. Would you care to accompany me, Dr. O?
Oh, I'd be delighted.
Very well, Captain. Lead us to your rocket.
Here it is. Here's the rocket. Now are you satisfied? Now are you convinced?
I see nothing resembling a rocket.
Dugan, Prescott, Clitheroe, clear away the camouflage. Hurry! You'll see, Doctor. You'll see. All right, there. Okay, men, that's enough. There you are, Doctor. That's the main hatch. Now, are you convinced?
Wonderful manifestation. Wonderful. But like the manifestation of your gun when you threatened to kill me, completely unreal and non-functional.
I've been thinking about why your gun jammed, Captain. I think it's a change in atmosphere. I suppose he allows his hallucinatory companion to offer the rational because the reality is too painful for him to offer it himself.
Yes, precisely, Doctor. It's a rocket. It's a real rocket. See? I can touch it. May we look inside? I insist that you look inside. Come along, Dr. Lowe. This is one of the most...
Captain, it's 3 minutes of 3. If we can keep them here until they open the channels, they'll be able to hear the reaction to our report on Earth, and then we'll be able to...
I know. What a suspicious bunch of louts.
2 cents, I'd tell the people back home not to bother with Mars.
I've never seen anything like it.
All right, now do you believe?
Why, this is the most incredible example of sensual hallucination and hypnotic suggestion I've ever encountered. We went through your rocket, as you call it. I tapped it, and I heard it. Auditory fantasy. I smelled it. Olfactory hallucination induced by sensual telepathy. I could even taste it. Lingual fantasy. Allow me to shake your hand, sir, and congratulate you. You are a psychotic genius. You have done the most complete job by the task of projecting your psychotic image life into the mind of another via telepathy and keeping the hallucinations from becoming sensually weaker is almost impossible. Those people in the house usually concentrate on visuals or, at the most, visual and auditory fantasies combined.
But you, Captain, have balanced the whole conglomeration. Your insanity is beautifully complete.
My insanity?
Yes. What a lovely insanity.
Metal, rubber, foods, clothing, fuel, nuts, bolts, 10,000 separate items we've checked on your vessels. Never have we seen such complexity.
Why, there were even shadows under the bunks and under everything.
Such a concentration of will. Let me embrace you, sir. I'll write this into my greatest monograph. I'll speak of it at the Martian Institute next month.
Doctor, he's incurable, of course.
Of course. You poor, wonderful man. You'll be much happier dead. Well, have you any last word?
Wait, no, don't shoot.
Oh, you poor, sad creature. I'm afraid you are far beyond any psychiatric therapy. You're an incurable.
No.
I shall put you out of this misery which has driven you to imagine this rocket and these 3 men.
I did not.
It will be most engrossing to watch your 3 friends and your rocket vanish once I've killed you.
Doctor.
And then I will write a paper on the dissolution of neurotic images from what I observed here today.
I'm from Earth. My name is Jonathan Williams, and these men are...
Yes, I know. From Earth.
Honest.
Captain Williams. They continue to exist.
Superb. Hallucinations with time and spatial existence. I wonder how they will react to a bullet.
What? No. Oh, no. But I'm not sure.
No. An auditory appeal, even with the patient dead. Run!
They still exist. And so does the rocket.
Phenomenal. Such persistence of the psychosis. First time I've ever observed it post-mortem. But it will fade. It will all fade. Interesting, wasn't it? Well, shall we be returning to the Institute?
I should like you to explain certain aspects of the case to the members of my department.
Oh, gladly, my boy, gladly. You see, this patient...
Earth to Mars. Earth to Mars. Calling rocket expedition. Calling
brought you The Earthman by Ray Bradbury, especially adapted for Escape by Walter Newman, starring Parley Bear with Harry Bartell, Hans Conried, Larry Dobkin, and Lou Krugman. Featured in the cast were John Daner, Sidney Miller, Georgia Ellis, Jack Crucian, and Byron Kane. The special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens.
Escape with us to an island off the northwest coast of Africa, and the story of a man whose quest for happiness was blocked by a giant, a madman, and a beautiful girl, as Millard Kaufman tells it in his exciting story, The Gladiator.
There's all fun each and every weekday when most of these same stations bring you CBS Radio's Arthur Godfrey Time. This is Roy Rowan speaking. This is CBS, where you hear the FBI in Peace and War every Thursday night, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Instant Ralston and regular Ralston, the hot whole wheat cereals in the red and white checkerboard packages, present Space Patrol! High adventure in the wild, vast reaches of space. Missions of daring in the name of interplanetary justice. Travel into the future with Buzz Corey, Commander-in-Chief of the Space Patrol! In today's transcribed Space Patrol adventure, Buzz and Happy are in the control tower of Prince Baccarati's castle, ready to force the prince to permit a rescue squadron to reach Planet X. Suddenly, apparently from nowhere, Baccarati's assistant, Murdoch, produces a weapon.
Commander, Murdoch's got a gun.
Drop it, Murdoch. Murdoch, we've got blast cartridges in our hands. If you shoot us, you'll blow up the whole tower.
Better hold it, Murdoch. Murdoch. Have you lost your mind?
One more step. We'll return in just a moment with today's exciting Space Patrol adventure, Rescue from Planet X. Hi, Space Patrollers. There's lots of excitement here in the main post office at Space Patrol headquarters. We're swamped with entries in the Name the Planet contest. Here comes another batch of mail. Yes, it looks like just about everybody in the universe is trying to win the gigantic Rocket Clubhouse, a 10,000-pound, 35-foot-long clubhouse on wheels, with a real full-sized motor truck to pull it, and $1,500 cash. That's the first prize some lucky Space Patroller will win, and maybe it'll be you. Man, oh man, think of all the fun you and your friends can have. And think of living like a real Space Patroller in a clubhouse with built-in sleeping bunks, electric lights, equipment lockers, and even a cooking stove. But that's not all, gang. In just a few minutes, I'll tell you more about the 1,750 other terrific prizes in the Name the Planet contest. And now, today's Space Patrol adventure, Rescue from Planet X. Commander Corey and Cadet Happy now have Prince Baccarati and Dr. Malengro in one of Baccarati's own ships and are circling Baccarati's castle on the remote Planet X. While Dr. Malengro is in an aft compartment guarded by the giant Granu, native of the polar regions of Planet X, Buzz holds a ray gun on Baccarati in the control section of the atmosphere ship. All right, Baccarati, here's where you go to work. What's the frequency of the signal that gets us through the defense field around your castle? I don't remember. Hap, head directly for the castle.
Yes, sir. Corey, listen, you can't do that. If the perimeter guns don't get you, the force fields will.
Then give me the frequency.
It's 508.5 megacycles. 508.5. Check.
I hope you're right, Baccarati. I'm not a fool, Corey. I value my own safety.
All right, now listen. You're going to contact your master control tower and tell them you're bringing in 2 prisoners. You're going to get inside your castle without tipping your flunkies off that you're in trouble. Got that?
Yes.
All right, get on the spacerphone. And don't try to be clever, or it may be the last thing you try. Just say you and Malengro are bringing 2 prisoners up to the tower. Go ahead and talk.
Prince Baccarati and Falcon 29 calling Castle Control Tower. Prince Baccarati to Control Tower.
Murdoch in Control Tower. Come in, Your Highness.
Murdoch, I got 2 prisoners here. I'm bringing them up to the tower.
Do you want me to assign a guard, Your Highness?
Oh, no, that won't be necessary. That's all, Murdoch.
That's the idea, Baccarati. Through the force field, sir. Set the ship down near the east gate of the castle. Yes, sir? All right, Hap. Get Malengro. We'll leave Granu in the ship to keep him out of mischief. Put him in the galley. Let him help himself. After he stuffs his stomach, he'll go to sleep.
Yeah, that'll do it all right.
Now listen, Baccarati. I'm going to give you and Malengro each a blast gun to hold on Happy and me.
Yes, Commander.
You're wasting that grin. I'm taking out the blast cartridge. Oh. Happy and I'll each be holding one in our hands. If anything happens to make us relax our grip, well, I think you know what'll happen. Of course, Commander. You couldn't move fast enough to escape. I understand.
Go on, Malengro. Keep moving.
Before I give you this empty gun, Baccarati, I want you to help me to explain to Malengro the spot you're both in. I'm sure he'd hate to cause the death of his prince.
You needn't worry. I'll explain to you.
A few moments later, Buzz and Happy descend from the atmosphere ship, hands raised, and followed closely by Baccarati and Malengro. The 4 men walk across the castle spaceport to the east gate. At the electrically controlled drawbridge, the captain of the guard steps forward and salutes.
Get back! Get back! You're not needed, Captain.
Respectfully, the guard steps back. Empty guns in their backs, Buzz and Happy continue down the long hall to Baccarati's tower elevator. Silently, the door slides open, and 4 men step inside. The doors close. And swiftly, the elevator raises them hundreds of feet to the tower. All right, Baccarati. We can quit this masquerade. Give me that gun.
Yes, Commander. But please, remember those blast cartridges in your hand.
See that you remember them. Open the door.
Go on, Malengro. Congratulations, I saw you from the tower.
Get your hands up.
Well, I thought... Do as he says, Murdoch. Do as he says.
Yes, your hand. Hap, here's a loaded blast gun. Keep it on the 3 of them.
Yes, sir.
Murdoch, don't try anything. We've got an extra cartridge in our hands. If we relax our grip, this whole tower will blow up.
He's not fooling, Murdoch. Obey him.
Yes, your hand. Baccarati, I want you to cut off all the defenses of Planet X. That means the robot-controlled ships out in space, your meteor control beams, and your surface warning systems. I'm going to order a fleet of space patrol ships to come in and pick up those men you abducted from the United Planets. They're staying with the forest people we just liberated from your Endurian mines. I'm staying right here in this tower until every last man is off of Planet X.
I'll cut the defenses. Your ships will get through, I promise. Now, those blast cartridges in your hand, they're dangerous to all of us.
I know it.
But you can't hold them indefinitely. Put on the safety catch. After all, we're helpless now.
The quicker you cooperate, the sooner you'll be out of danger. Now, when my ships get here, I'm going to assign some men to see that all your weapons factories are put out of operation.
But you have no right to do that. Planet X isn't under the jurisdiction of the United Planets.
Yes, but we have a right to protect ourselves from aggression. You've been using your weapons and spaceships to destroy our installations, wreck our ships, and rob and abduct our peaceful citizens. You're a menace to every planet in the solar system.
But you're leaving us defenseless.
Who do you have to defend yourself against? Surely not the natives. They certainly have cause to hate you, but they're primitive people. All of them. One group is very intelligent. They're the Lumens.
Come on!
Wait a minute. Who are the Lumens? Come on, speak up.
They're a race that lived 1,000 miles from here in Golden Valley.
You're in danger from them? Have they tried to attack you?
Well, not yet. In fact, I don't fear the Lumens at all. No, not in the loop. Murdoch, why did you mention them? No special reason. It's just that they're supposed to have special powers. Superstition. They're a little smarter than the savages around them, so these wild, impossible stories get started. Well, I don't intend to interfere with any of the native tribes. When you and your ringleaders are put away, so you can't cause any trouble, the people of Planet X can go back to working out their own problems. All right, Baccarati. Get to that control panel and cut those defenses. Hurry. All right, come on.
They're all off, Commander. Your ships can come in now in perfect state.
Commander,
All right, Malingro, hold still.
Commander, the men will be getting suspicious. It's past the time when they receive their special orders.
That's right, Commander. If they think His Highness is in trouble, they may break in here and... they should attack you with those glass cartridges in your hand.
That's the point. Can you handle it, Murdoch?
Good. But if His Highness were to appear personally...
That's out.
Perhaps if I appear as second in command to His Highness, the castle staff would be reassured.
We're both anxious to get out of here, aren't we? All right, go ahead. But remember, I've got Baccarati here. If you want to keep him healthy, don't try anything.
Yes, sir. Of course, Commander.
Happy, watch Baccarati. I'm going to spaceophone Robbie to send a squadron to Planet X.
Out across the vastness of space, the voice of Commander Corey informs Security Chief Major Robertson that Space Patrol ships may now land on Planet X in complete safety. Meantime, Baccarati's two assistants, Dr. Malengro and Murdoch, draw relieved breaths at being outside the tower room. Dr. Malengro, if we don't think of something quick, we'll be on our way to a criminal rehabilitation center.
I'm quite aware of our predicament, Mr. Murdoch.
Perhaps if we were to return to the tower room with the paralyzer ray gun. That's it. Get Corey and the cadet before they have a chance to throw those glass cartridges. Get it. The paralyzer ray would freeze their hands tightly shut. They couldn't release.
I said forget it. You would be endangering the life of His Highness.
But if we succeeded, we would be heroes.
See here, Murdoch. Since I've been away, you've taken a lot upon yourself. Remember, I'm Prince Baccarati's chief advisor, not you.
Of course, Dr. Bland.
I advise you to keep your mouth closed unless His Highness asks for your advice. That remark about the lumens, for example, that was stupid, Murdoch, very stupid.
I was only trying to help. We can convince Corey that those who remain on Planet X have need of weapons. Why, perhaps in the future we could secretly build up our forces again and rescue His Highness.
You idiot. If Corey learns that there is really an intelligent race here, it will pave the way to Planet X joining the United Planets. Then what chance will we have?
There is something in what you say, Dr. Malengro.
We must get word to His Majesty's subjects never to mention the lumens. And Murdoch, forget that melodramatic idea of using a paralyzer on Corey.
Oh, of course, Doctor. I've put it completely out of mind.
That's right, Robbie. I'll contact the squadron when they reach Planet X and direct them where to pick up our men. Corey out.
Boy, was Major Robertson ever tickled to hear that we were all right.
Yeah, it was good to hear his voice again, too. Well, with Robbie dispatching the squadron of ships from Pluto, we won't have to wait too long.
It'll still be several hours, though. That's a long time to have to sit and look at Baccarati.
Somebody's in the elevator.
I see Malingro and Murdoch.
Keep an eye on that door, Hap.
Yes, sir. Just Murdoch.
Where's Malengro?
He'll be here in a few moments, Commander. As soon as I finish with this.
Commander! Murdoch, you fool!
I got them, Your Highness. I got them both.
You idiot! They have those blaster cartridges in their hands. Get out of here before they blow out the tower.
Your Highness, please. May I point out how rigidly they're lying there? Their hands are still clenched. They can't move.
Oh, yes, you're right. Good work, Murdoch. I'll have two guards remove the blast cartridges from their hands. Out of my presence, of course.
Of course, Your Highness.
Corey, you can still see and hear, can't you? Even though you can't move. In a few hours, your Space Patrol ships will be close to Planet X. You will have the pleasure of seeing them destroyed.
We'll return to Space Patrol in just a moment. ticking off the seconds, the minutes, the hours. The watch that helps Commander Corey stand guard over the United Planets. Yes, Space Patrollers, you can have a wristwatch just like Commander Corey. It's shock-resistant with a sweep second hand. And it's just one of the 1,000 third prizes in the amazing Name the Planet contest. Now, just listen. 250 Space Patrol wristwatches, 250 autosonic space rifles, 250 outer space helmets, and 250 swell Space Patrol emergency kits. But how about second prize? Well, would you believe it? Second prize group is 750 Schwinn varsity bicycles. Schwinn, the sharp-looking sport-style bike. Mighty light, mighty fast, with free-speed gear shift, two-wheel handbrakes, and all the other features that make Schwinn America's greatest bicycle. But better get started, gang. Start thinking up names for Planet X so you can win the huge rocket clubhouse or one of the 1,750 second and third prizes in the Name the Planet contest. And now, back to our Space Patrol adventure, Rescue from Planet X. The ambitious Murdoch, desperately eager to place himself higher in the good graces of Prince Baccarati, succeeded in a daring stroke to free the Prince from Commander Corey and Cadet Happy. Suddenly producing a paralyzer ray gun in the tower room, Murdoch prevented Buzz and Happy from releasing the powerful explosive blast gun cartridges they held in their hands. Now, locked in a dark and musty chamber near the tower, Buzz and Happy are just recovering from the effects of the paralyzer ray.
Let's feel our way around this room, see if we can find a way out. I kind of doubt it. This time Baccarati hasn't taken any chances. He wants us to be on hand when he blows up our ship.
Maybe something on the floor we can use as a weapon when we open his door. We'll do better if we crawl.
But they'll have 6 men to keep us covered. I guess Murdoch sure has a lot of nerve. I'll say that for him.
Yes, nerve, good aim.
Open your mind to me.
Happy, did you hear something?
Sounded like somebody talking.
Open your mind.
Voice, all right. I can't tell what direction it's coming from.
There's a strange sound, too. Is the dark playing tricks on my eyes, or is there a glow at one end of the room?
It's a golden mist.
Listen to me, men from another planet. Listen to me. I am Ortho.
Is that voice talking to us?
Yes, I am communicating with you. I am Ortho, a lumen.
Captain Rocket, did you hear that, sir? It says he's a lumen. Baccarati playing a trick.
Maybe. Ortho, do you hear me?
No, but I sense your thoughts. You do not actually hear me. I project my thoughts into your mind.
It's Baccarati, all right. He's ordered one of these men to try to drive us nuts.
I am not Baccarati. That name is charged with evil. He is trying to destroy you.
You can say that. You can think that again.
Where are you, Ortho? And what are you?
I am 1,000 miles away in the golden valley of this planet you call X. As I told you, I am a lumen, an ancient race that for hundreds of centuries has lived here in peace.
Right. Look at that misty light. It looks like a face. A human face.
I am trying to make myself real to you. I am projecting by thought an image of my features.
Either Baccarati's pulling something that... this is like a brainogram, only a long distance.
Think of it like that if you like. But we lumens require no mechanical or electronic aid to project our thoughts to each other. In fact, we have few mechanical devices of any kind. No spaceship, no spaceophone.
Why are you contacting us?
For about 3 years, we lumens have been aware of the growing force of evil on this planet. It seems to center in the region where you are now.
3 years. That's about how long Baccarati's been building up this empire.
Quite happy. Go on, Ortho.
We have tried to contact with our minds some individual mind in that area so we could learn the cause for this evil. Until now, we have met with failure. You see, evil minds cannot be attuned with ours. You, however, have a strong sense of justice and a dislike of cruelty, violence, and greed.
Wait, Arthur. There have been scores of people here who feel the same way. They've all been prisoners of Baccarati the way we are now.
Fear sometimes makes it hard to establish contact. Perhaps you are less afraid than the others.
We came here to capture Baccarati and to liberate the people he's holding captive. He's a menace to our entire solar system, as well as to you lumens. I hope you have some means of defense.
Not as yet. It may take generations to develop our minds in the direction necessary to combat spaceships and explosives.
You won't have the time. If Baccarati ever finds you, he'll try to enslave you. If he can't do that, he'll destroy you.
I have sensed this dreadful thing. I hope you can help us.
Great. We were hoping you could help us. Maybe we can help each other. Ortho, could you project a thought image so anybody can see it?
If I can picture the surroundings.
Does the image always glow like a bright mist?
Only in the dark. If your prison were lighted, you would see me as I am, a solid flesh and blood being.
Would you project an image of me so that someone else could see it?
If you concentrate on how you look, how you are dressed, and on the exact place you want your image to appear.
Suppose somebody touches the image.
It would be like touching empty air.
Ortho, let's try it. I'm going to concentrate on a certain corridor in this town. I tell you, Your Highness, I saw him. Commander Corey standing in the corridor in front of the room we locked him in.
It's impossible. He couldn't have escaped from that room. Unless one of the guards. Come on, let's look.
Be careful, sire. He may be right around the corner. Have your blessed gun ready. There he is. I told you. He's standing right in front of the door, grinning at us.
Didn't shoot this time, Corey. He's gone. Disappeared.
Get back into the room just as you can.
He blew a hole in the door. He must at least be injured. Come on.
Look, Your Highness. The door is still bolted. On the outside.
Get out of the way. I'm going to see for myself.
There you are.
Both of you. It's time I want to miss. Corey, I'm going to spare you the tragic sight of seeing your ships destroyed. They're almost to Planet X. After I finish you, I'm going back out to the tower room and blast your ship out of the sky. One by one. Got anything to say, Corey? No? Very well, then.
Bad shooting, Baccarati.
That takes care of Malingro.
All right, Baccarati, drop that gun.
Get the gun, Pat. Yes, sir. I shot you. I know I shot you.
You were standing on the opposite side of the room. Better have your eyes examined. When you come to... Come on, Hap. Get up to the tower room before those two characters revive. We've got to stop them from firing on our ships. Quickly, Buzz and Happy rushed to the stairway leading to the tower room. Get away from those controls, Murdoch.
Boy,
Cover him, Hap.
what have you done to his highness? Just this.
Hey, man, look at the view scope. Here they come. Help me smash these controls. We can't let them be shot down now.
If I could just find something to hit with. Hey, this Injurium statue of Baccarati.
Just the thing. It's pretty heavy. We can both use it like a battering ram.
Yes, sir. Head first.
That does it.
Well, I'm glad Baccarati's image was more solid than ours.
Somebody's coming up the stairs. I'll take a chance on the elevator.
I hope it's at this floor.
It is. Get in. Get down before anyone alerts the guards at the east gate. Swiftly, the elevator drops to the first floor of the giant castle. Then, with blast guns drawn, Buzz and Happy walk boldly toward the great open doors of the east wing. They're nearly at the drawbridge before the gate guard is aware that the two men who have sauntered out are space patrolmen.
Oh!
Head to the atmosphere ship, the one we came in.
Yes, sir. I think I better slow that guard down that's chasing us.
Did you stop him?
I blasted a hole in front of him. He fell in.
We can only make the ship before he alerts the whole field.
Into the ship. Oh, if we can get this ship airborne. The hatch is secured, sir. That guard out there has a blast gun. We may be in for a rough time. Stand by to blast off. Standing by, sir. Put on the key frequency for the defense field, Happy. Yes, sir. I hope they haven't changed the frequency on us. I don't think they've had a chance. Well, anyway, we probably smashed that control, too, up there in the tower. Looks like we missed that one. So glad we had the field penetrative frequency on. Keep on the viewscope, Hap. We'll locate our squadron and guide them in to the men with the forest. Yes, sir.
Flying low over the vast terrain of Planet X, Buzz glides the rescue squadron to the realm of the friendly forest natives, where 200 engineers and technicians await the ships that will take them home. 2 hours later, Buzz and Happy look down on a heartwarming.
There they are, Happy. All lined up, ready to blast off. Yes, sir. It looks like every native in the forest is here to wave goodbye. Quite a sight, isn't it? Sure is. What's that? The same sound we heard back in the castle. Man, look in the viewscope. Look what's in it. It's Ortho's face.
You have done nobly, my friends. The fall of evil has already begun to lift from my beloved land. My people are very grateful.
Same to you, Ortho. And don't worry. We'll be back.
Yes, Ortho. As long as Baccarati is free on Planet X, we'll be back. An action preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure in just a moment. Space Patrollers, have you entered your name for Planet X in the big Name the Planet contest? Have you found a name for that strange new planet 5,000 times bigger than Earth? Are you on your way to winning the giant rocket clubhouse or one of the 1,750 other wonderful prizes? Better get going. Go with Mom or Dad to your Weatherbird shoe store and get your free prize. That's right. The Weatherbird Shoe Man will give you a free prize. It's a handsome interplanetary coin album with 3 real space coins inside. Terrific coins, big as a $50. And inside your free coin album, you'll find your Name the Planet contest entry blank with easy directions for submitting your name for Planet X. Now, if there's no Weatherbird shoe dealer in your neighborhood, you can find out where else to get your coin album and entry blank by looking on the back of a package of Good Hot Ralston, either instant or regular, a new package with a picture of Commander Corey or Cadet Happy on the front. But don't wait. See your Weatherbird shoe dealer or check the back of a Hot Ralston package and enter the Name the Planet contest today. And now, a preview of next week's exciting Space Patrol adventure. Buzz and Happy have landed their spaceship in a desolate region of Planet X, as directed by the mysterious native Ortho, who is guiding them from a distance by shockwaves.
Commander, there's Baccarati's ship. I can see it above us through the Astrodome. Yes, he's coming in to attack. I hope Ortho knows what he's doing, telling us to land here. Hey, what happened to Ortho? His face is gone from the viewscope.
Ortho, can you hear us?
It's up us now.
Fire Space Torpedo 1.
It's jammed, sir.
Fire 2.
They're both jammed, and Baccarati's coming in.
He's firing at us.
And here we are like a sitting duck. Ortho double-crossed us.
Be sure to join us next week for the thrilling story, The Secret of the Dargo Ruins, when Wheat Chex, Rice Chex, Instant Ralston, and Regular Ralston again present Space Patrol! Space Patrol, created by Mike Moser, starring Ed Kemmer as Commander Corey and Len Osborne as Cadet Happy, was written by Lou Houston, produced and directed by Larry Robertson, executive producer Mike Jeffrey. Other players were Bela Kovach, Ken Mayer, and Norman Jolly. Dick Tufeld speaking. Now, don't forget to tune in next Saturday and every Saturday when Instant Ralston and Regular Ralston again present the new exciting Space Patrol! This is Dick Tufeld in Los Angeles reporting on the world's first Delta-wing airplane, the Convair XF-92A. In a moment, we'll hear from the test pilot on this unusual plane, Major Chuck Yeager, the man who pioneered faster-than-sound flight. The XF-92A is an Air Force interceptor, nicknamed the Flying Triangle, length 42 feet, Sweep back of the wings, 60 degrees. Speed about 700 miles an hour. Now, Chuck Yeager reported early this morning at Edwards Air Force Base.
Let me tell you what it takes to be a test pilot. To start with, I have to be in good condition. That means get plenty of rest, plenty of exercise, good food at every meal. For breakfast, I like a cereal that really tastes good and has plenty of energy.
Like Rice Chex and Wheat Chex. No other cereal, puff or flake, contains so much nourishment in such concentrated bite-sized form. So take a tip from Major Chuck Yeager, Tony LeVere, and other top test pilots. Get Rice Chex and Wheat Chex today. Be sure to see another exciting Space Patrol story on your local ABC television station. Consult your local newspaper for time and channel. This program is broadcast to our armed forces overseas through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Space Patrol came to you transcribed from Hollywood. This is ABC Radio Network.